Alright, welcome back everybody. First I want to say happy belated Thanksgiving. This is a week later. Today is the 29th, I believe. We just got back from vacation. So this is part 2 of the video. I'm going to take you around and show you what I'm getting ready to do, what I've already done, and proceed. We need to get this thing buzzed together. I need to get a video out. So let me come over there real quick. Okay, so this, let's see here. These two was the tube I had that was underneath this table, and this one. And I got this little piece from Doug. That was the only short I was of making this all new. Here's the thing I'm using. I also cleaned that the engine plate up. We still got to put brakes in it in the brake. So this thing, in case you guys haven't seen one before, this one's from Eastwood, but you can get them from Harbor Freight, and they got different abrasive wheels. This is kind of aggressive. They also have them with like sandpaper on them. Here's one that's a little softer. This will polish it up, you know, kind of like that one. I don't even think has been used yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and just clean these up the best that I can. I'm not trying to take off everything because we're going to be doing some grinding after we weld, and then I'll do a lot of that with the DA. With the one with the 36 on it, we'll try to clean off the rest with that and then buzz it down, kind of like we did the vise. So I'll just try to get it all cleaned up real quick, enough for us to weld it together, and then I'll bring you guys back. But that's what I'm going to do with this. Clean the rest of that up just like I just did those, and then we'll get this bad boy started. We'll get it welded. Can't wait. Be back shortly. Now let me show you what I'm kind of doing here. So I'm going over it with this. This is 36. Just got a little bit of slag still left on it, so I'm going around just knocking that off real quick. If you go in a bunch of different motions on your areas and don't stand in like one way, it'll take it off faster, like this. Most of that was already off anyways, but then I go around with the DA, with the, not the orbital, the one that just spins, with the 36. Okay, then we'll go around with this guy. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll blow everything off. We'll wipe it all off with some lacquer thinner, something like that, you know, in that kind of a, you know, not, I would do it with the Windex, but I'd rather get some of the oils off, because look. So we'll wipe everything off real good, then we'll start setting our stuff up where we need it at, and we'll start tacking it in place. So give me a minute, I'm going to wipe it down. I'll tell you what I wiped it down with when I come back. All right, real quick guys, I wanted to show you. So, and I'm going to go around and clean this up inside here and finish putting some more welds in it, but I wanted to close in the, you know, the part in between here. I didn't want to leave that open in there. So our tubes are going to run in between those. And the only weld that's going to be on this, obviously, is going to be the one that I'm doing on the backside. I made through a couple tacks after I put it together, like on the outside just a little bit, and then sand those out before we put our JB weld. I might put some in that crack and on the bottom, on the backside, and then we'll sand it out like we did, you know, on the vise. So pretty much on these two, I'm going to tack these in place, and once those are tacked in place, and I got this, because I'm trying to figure out up front here, obviously our top one has the slider slot. That's a cool name, right? And then the lower one is not going to move. So what I done was with this flat bar, I brought it up to this one here. And that's where I stopped it. So on this side, our blocks are flush with the outside of the bead roller. So on this bottom side of it, since I don't need nothing sliding or moving, I think I'm going to cut this 2-inch flat bar right to the edge of the outside of this block here. That way it's fully closed off to that point. And then I'm going to make another one of these with just probably about a 1 1/16 of a hole, so it's not completely the same. Probably about the outside diameter of this block here, or inside here. So whatever that was, the outside of that brass bushing, 1.2 or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Anyways, so that way our bar just goes through that plate, and it'll keep our bar flat and straight and nice, just like the top one. So because these things end, let me get the camera and I'll show you. I'm sitting here trying to explain it to you guys. Okay, see here. So, and I hope this thing doesn't do the funky focus thing on us. So what I want to do is make another one of these plates for down here, because you see that gap now? because that's where these end. So I can put it behind here, and all we'll do is just put, instead of a slot like this, we'll just put the whole size of that diameter there. And then our bar will go through that and not drag on it. You know what I mean? I don't want a tight fit on it. I just want that plate there basically to focus on keeping some structure, because I'm going to weld on the back side of that on the inside there. And then also when we tack this on the back side here a little bit, or wherever there, to make it nice. So that way this will go right up against it, and then we'll have flat, these things will fit nice and flat on the outside. Let me get this one, just like that one will, once we get it all in place. So it'll be like that. It's hard doing this with one hand, but you guys get the point, the picture. Right there. So, and I think that'll be pretty cool like that. I'm trying to think here if that's going to become an issue if I cut that to the front of that block, and I don't think so. And that way that's all flat and nice, and it's closed off. Yeah, I don't see that being a problem. Actually, it may be. Brain fart. You know what, now that I thought about it, I can cut it off to the back side of it. That does have to slide up. So this has to be up to the tippy part of this inside here. So the thickness of this, it has to come up. So yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that there. I'm glad I've been thinking about this. See, talking to you guys just helped me. So that's what I'll do. And then we'll still make our bar, our other plate inside here to keep that flush against that. So I'm gonna make that in Fusion real quick and cut it up, because I do have some of that plate on the table right now, because I went ahead and just cut our other caster plate out. Let me just show you this stuff here. So this still needs a little work. I'm not too concerned about this little, if you guys see that in the camera there, there's a little bit of a bevel here, but inside here it's not like that. It's actually pretty smooth. And whatever we do fill in there, I'll probably just swipe it with JB Weld just like we did on the vise, and then I'll clean all that out nice so it is smooth. So because that was really tough, heating that with the torch and bending it. I was going to bring you guys in while I was doing that, but some people stopped by and they didn't want to be on the camera, and so I just went ahead and did it. And I figured I'd just show you when I was done. But yeah, all I done was heat it with the torches and just weld it, bend it, weld it, bend it, heat it. You know, each time I would heat some more and tap it. And so I'll just work this a little bit more. I'll clean it up real nice so it looks good. I already had the top on here, and this all looks good. So other than what's inside here, the feel of it, it may need a little swipe of JB Weld in there to clean that up. And you're really not going to see that inside there. Kind of like what we did here on this beast here. You know, I went the extra mile on things, but it means a lot, and it looks good, and that's how I just, want to do it. So, but that's what we'll do. So let me cut this little plate here, and we'll cut it out real quick. That way that's done, and then we'll go ahead and make sure these are square. I got these little fireball tool, these here, I got these little here. We'll make sure they're all good and square, and I'll clamp them all down. This is great stuff, you guys. Anytime anybody looking for some nice, like any of these, the smaller ones, I got the smaller ones. I have some bigger ones. I have some triangle ones, and I got a mega one that's his, but I made it. I made the mega one. It's made out of steel, and it works very good. And then I got a bunch of other stuff from him too. These little blocks that he makes, a block kit with magnets. You guys seen them. When we made the vise, I was spacing them up off the table. I used them to make the space on the vise there. If you go back and watch, I think it's video part 1 or 2, but I use those little blocks in there, and you'll see the kit's in there. But awesome stuff, you guys. He makes some great stuff. And like I said, no sponsor from him. He just has a great channel. He's a super guy, and anybody that works that hard and does that good with stuff and just that smart with any of this stuff, that I'm, learning things from, I'm on, I'm all for that. So good for him, Here goes that stupid focus part again. Hang on a second, guys. All right, sorry about that. I'm not sure what this focus part of this keeps doing. Anyhow, like I said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and make that piece real quick. We'll get our squares out and start squaring these up. We'll get them tacked in place, and then we can kind of pre-fit and start welding this thing together, because the rest of it's going to be made from the outside. We'll be welding these up through those slots, front and back. Our blocks the lower one will get tacked in, which now that I'm doing it like this, I may go ahead and set it and tack it on the back side of this bracket and across the bottom. And then when this one goes in, on the bottom side out here, that way there's no welds on the outside of this one, and it ain't gonna move. This one here has to move freely, so there's no weld in that. So this probably will work out real good the way we're doing this now, as I keep thinking about it. So give me a few, we'll make that, be right back. All right, little update, you guys. I couldn't run that inside piece there. So So I had to take it back out, clean it up. I got these things welded in place. Everything's sitting where it's. If I would have ran that piece inside, I would have had to change my blocks and lower these down some, and then it would have been an issue when I opened and closed. The only other way would have been to put my the metal on the outside, the sleeve, and it would have closed that hole up quite a bit. So I didn't want to do that. So this would have had to been probably a different design to do it the way I wanted to do it. So that, unfortunately, when I should have looked into that. That's my fault. So, but everything's fitting pretty good the way we have it right now. These all, everything, I got the vice grips are against this one, but they all spin free. They all spin free. They're sitting flush, front and rear. They're where they need to be at. I need to recut this bracket here, or piece, and add on 3/16 because I cut it 3/16 short for that piece that was inside. So I need to recut it and add 3/16 there. So when that outside metal goes on there, it'll be perfect. So wanted to give you an update. I'm getting ready to recut that, and then I'm going to start putting this outside stuff on. So I'll bring you back as I'm doing that. We're going to be doing some heating and folding across the back too. So I'll bring you back in a little bit. All right, so I'm making all the sides. I made these, and I made this front one, or this part of this side. It's kind of the same thing we did when we did on the vise there, where I made little reference lines, and I did them in the brake. So we're going to do that for those that haven't seen that, or go back and watch them videos if you guys want to see that too. It's pretty cool. Let me set this up. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I need to straighten that one out. It should be all right for this though for now. So what we'll do is we'll, as soon as that touches, I think I got to put the other, let me go a little into that one first. I got to put the other one in it, which I thought that grabbed that. Why didn't it? Yeah. Huh. Let's do this. Will that get it? No. And I ain't got no more than big ones. Well, here it is. Maybe. Yeah, all you got to do with these is just stack them. Yeah, that should hit it. I'm just going to start making little bends in all these lines. And I didn't measure those, I just made some reference marks, probably about 3/8. Let's see how we're doing so far. See, it just gives it a nice little bend. Hang on a second. Okay, so that's good. So we need to bend some more. So I stopped at that one, so we'll go to this one. The trick is not to overbend it, but if you do, I'll show you what I do for that. Obviously you just bend it back, but I either hit it with on the ground with the hammer, or put it in a nice new fireball vise. Yeah, so we're too much there. So I need to, here's where I'll start to manipulate it. Just real easy, little at a time. Kind of see where I need to bend it. Okay, so right about in here. Oh, and there's our light. See, both of them bulbs are okay. I bet that ballast is going out. I'm going to put some LED ones in here soon, one of these days. Okay, let's see. So right about here, we need to bend it out good. I can probably, there goes everything. Okay, so I need to put some bends down here. Let's get some down here, probably starting about right there. I kind of skipped a couple. So we need to, well actually, if I go, let's do this. I need to get some of this bend out of here. That one's okay. More bends down here. Let's start with this line. See, and that's a good thing. If you go too much, you can just bend it out of it. But the main thing is, like I said, if you go back and watch the vise one, I'm trying to give it a smooth. I need to get one in here, I think. Okay, now let me bend it back. Okay, I kind of like that. Let me come in here, right about in here, and try to bend it back some. I can probably, let me just do this. And you can watch it too, like how much you're taking back out of it. Right about in here, we need to take some out. Okay, so if I take some out of here, up in here, then we can put some more bends at the bottom. I'm gonna try to talk to Jason, the guy that drew up the plans for that vise, and see if we can, I'd like to do like some kind of a, like a challenge on building these vices. You get his plans and then, you know, build the vise, and then we'll have some kind of a, like a contest per se. So I'm gonna try to shoot him a message and see if he's not too busy to respond. That's looking pretty good there. I think we need to take out just a little more up top here. And if we can get that going, I think that would be pretty cool. Just to see all the different ideas, you know, on people. I need to bend this out a little bit. The different ideas on everybody's, you know, build. I think that would be super cool. And I'm sure he would too. And then maybe have some kind of a, you know, a winning for first and second prize and whatever. Okay, so we need to put some bends up here. Yeah, I think he'd be pretty game with that. Okay, let's. Yeah, I think that would be real cool if we did that, you know, do a vise build competition. There's just so many people with, you know, everybody's idea counts, you know what I mean? So I think that would be cool. Okay, we need to put some up here. But I think Jason would like that idea. He's always doing little competitions like, or contests like that. Some of them are like to weld certain things up, stuff like that, but super cool stuff, man. I mean, that guy does a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'd like to get a hold of him, shoot him a message, and then see what he thinks about that. I think he'd like that idea. So, okay, now we got to go up here a little bit. I kind of went in between them other lines because we got a sharp churn here and then it goes straight. But I wanted you guys to kind of see all this. I know it's kind of, okay, now I can bend it out right at this point here. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to try to get a hold of him, shoot him a message, and then maybe we can get something going with that. I think that would be cool and fun. Obviously, my vise is done. The only thing I might change on it is if I do those 3D printed badges on the side. But other than that, I got to make some more jaws. I'm going to make some with a little bit up here. I want to make some with like a V's in them, like for holding bar, pipes and bar. And then I noticed on these jaws that I made, I'd like them better if I had some sort of teeth in them. So I'll probably cut some teeth in them, and then I haven't even hardened these yet. I'm going to clean them up and then harden them. I'm trying to do this fast, guys, so we don't have a whole bunch of time in it. Okay, that all looks good. Put some right up in here, just a couple through here. That's that. Let me put this one back in it that we dropped, that I dropped. Whoops. Put it in the right way, buddy. Hopefully I can get them to stay in here just so I can take you guys around it. Show you real quick. And then I'm going to take it all back apart. Well, I moved them all when I beat on that table. All right, and that's how you do that. Pretty cool. And then what I'll do is I'll after we, because these are going to get, obviously we're going to weld the seams and clean those up. And then I'm going to weld them on the inside to the bottom with the rest of our other things that we welded in there. And then once we put our top on, I may hit them a couple tacks here and there down the sides and then clean those off. And then, because I'm going to swipe out with JB Weld and all these after we weld them and clean them off. But that's going to look good, guys. Looks like a big guitar, don't it? That's Johnny Cash's guitar. Yeah, it's looking good. A couple things here I was thinking. I'm not sure about this yet, but here, let me put this back in. Okay, I'm not sure about this yet, but I've been thinking and thinking and thinking, do I want to do it? And I know as soon as I don't do it, I'm going to wish I did it. But that's making this lower one adjustable too. I've been seeing a few with the lower one where you can make it adjustable. It's not to go real far. What I could do, because here's what's going on. So here's a couple of dies, and I still got to churn these down to fit these. I think these are 22 millimeter, or I believe 7/8. I think that's what they are. I ain't got my dial indicator out, but anyways. So if I put this like kind of where it goes, and set this one probably where it's going to be at. Right now everything's churning smooth. Whoops. So if I put these about where they're going to go, and then bring this down to where that's got to actually smash the metal and make something, That's all the way shut right there. That's about the area of all the way down. Which, and I'm not sure about this. I've never built one of these, but now when I go to try to turn this, I can't turn it with just my fingers until I get to about right there. And that's right there is going to be a huge gap, like a 1/4 inch before these touch. So I think they're made to where it'll work under a bind like that, because if you watch Karl Fisher's at Make It Custom, this is all the same stuff here. So when he goes down, you know what I mean, to adjust his to close, his is working. I just noticed that when I did that yesterday. I tried to turn it while it was down, and I noticed that it was in a decent bind. And then I tried to search to see, and there, you know, other dies are probably larger, you know what I mean? They're probably larger in size, which that won't be a factor. But, you know, that's something I need to think about now, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how you put these on. Put this back right there, right about there. But to close that, yeah, there's closed. And that's all the way smashed into the metal. That's making a serious, usually you don't close them all the way, but I don't know. I think we might be all right. It's just a little bit of a bind, and we'll see. I'm gonna think about that. But like I said, if I don't do it now, it's gonna be too late later. But what happens is I'll make a slot in the side of these here, on both of these actually, and then I'll drill and tap the blocks and put a bolt in here to tighten it wherever that stops. You can tighten them actually. This one probably doesn't need it as much, but this one, we'll put it in this one. So when we slide it up, we can tighten it down, and it'll hold to that point. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'd hate to, because I'm going to weld this block. The bottom one gets welded in. So once I do that, it's in. And as I said, I know there's larger dies. If I have to find larger dies and make sure all my dies are at least, I don't even know what these are, you know, in diameter. That's 2 1/4. That's 2 inch. But let's just say if I had 3 inch dies or 2 1/2 inch dies on top and bottom, that won't be a problem. You know, it might just be because these are smaller, you know. But I'm sure this is made, you know, if you watch his video, his is down like far when he's using it. So it's got to be in that same, this is the exact plans. These are his plans. So his is working, so this should too. So I just found it a concern, you know what I mean? It's probably nothing. Anyways, that was my only thing. Okay, our sides are done. I'm gonna pop this back off. What did I want to do next? I think we'll go ahead, finish doing our welds. We'll weld these in place, and I might make a little cover for here, for the front of this one, to put in there, just so that's all closed off and this is all solid here. I don't know, maybe, we'll see. Because this has got to stay open up here for it to be adjustable. But, okay, let me get figured out what we're doing next and I'll bring you guys back. All right, guys, so I am going to make this lower part adjustable. I made this little plate here. It's going to go on top there. We'll weld it to it. I'm going to slot out that inside, and we're going to put a threaded thing here with just a little knob, just so when we adjust this to where we want it and tighten that one, we can adjust that up to the bottom of that. So when it is bead rolling, you know what I mean? Even though that's going to be holding it here, there'll be some an area there that it's holding it to. So I was going to slot it like the top one. I still might. I don't know. I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with that, but because I want to leave this that whole side there where I can drill it and thread it down probably into that area there. So we have at least a 1/4 inch of threads to go into. So it's going to have to be down towards this lower part. Actually, yeah, I can probably go even further than that. So I really won't be able to slot it, but we'll figure out what to do as far as something to hold this from, you know, there's where the pressure will be against it down this way. I bent our plate. That one's ready. That one's ready on there. I just bent it in the thing real quick, and then these will get welded up. But let me figure out what we're going to do next, whether I'm going to weld this together or whether I'm going to make the knob for the top thing out of the aluminum. I got some aluminum over there, or what. Yeah, I just ain't decided what to do next. I'm trying to get done as much as I can within a few hours a day, because like right now it's almost 3 o'clock. I'm off of work, so I only have till like 6 to work, so I'm going to try to be productive with the time. So let me see what I'm going to do, and I'll bring you guys back. All right, guys, I think I'm going to work on the slot first. And this is exactly why I made this plate. Really, it would have been nice if I had thought about this before I cut all this out, because then I could have cut that out with the machine, or even, yeah, it has been so much easier. So, but anyways, this will keep it clean. and it'll look kind of cool too. Because remember, these are all going to be welded and they're going to be flattened out. So this will go over that, and then we'll weld that to it and clean it up, same as we've always done, and clean all our edges up. I'll probably bevel the backs, so when I weld it, it's got some penetration in there. So when I clean it, you know, flat, I'm not going to take all the weld off. So first thing, I outline it with a marker, and then I'm going to drill I center punched it. Hopefully I got those right. We'll drill them first. These bits are probably need sharpened. I don't even think this is the good one. I had a good one. I need to sharpen all these. I keep saying it. This chuck does not like to tighten. Only my Makita's ever done that. Every other drill I got has never done that. I'm sorry, Milwaukee. And I like Milwaukee's, but my cheap ones, none of them do it. Okay, let's go. This one seems to fit the slot pretty good, so we'll use it. I hope it's sharp enough. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, gotta get it tight first. Get a little more on that bad boy. Seem to like that. I found that if you do that, right, what I'm doing right now, it cuts it a lot faster. These bits, when I got them, they were great. I mean, super sharp and great, but the only thing I didn't like about them was that they love to grip real bad at the end and pull you around. Okay, now we're gonna take, let me go find my glasses. Should have already had them on. Okay, now I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna try to trim it out, and then we'll clean it a little bit with that. This hose gets so much water in it, I gotta oil it. And it's only this hose. I don't know why. Every other hose in the shop doesn't do that, just that one. Maybe it's the way the lines go to it, I don't know. Quick tip, guys, for those of you that don't know. Duct tape, put it over where your splinter's at. Duct tape's the best because it's so sticky, then just pull it. I think I got it. Can't tell, every time I try it, it feels, I think I got it. Okay, yeah, that's it. Splinter's gone. We'll keep that just in case we get more. All right, let me do what I said. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I think I'm gonna kind of want this like, and you know, right in here, and that'll put us kind of like in the middle of this thing, which will give us plenty of adjustment both ways. Now, one thing I am gonna have to do is, hang on, we'll put it like right in here, just so I know where we're at. Actually, it wouldn't hurt to go, just a hair more over, right in there. Okay. Now, one thing we're gonna have to do is, if you remember, we put that plate in there with just a hole in it. So I'm gonna have to either grind that away somewhat at the top, or even cut it with the whiz wheel so we have a slot up here too, because I got it welded in pretty decent now. So just to kind of show you, let me grab a camera. So like I said, we got it welded in pretty good. So if I took my cutoff wheel and do kind of the same thing that we just did on that slot, just take off the top and that, then that'll be open for that. And then on the bottom, we can't go no further than this here anyway, so I'll just probably grind that out flat. And that's not where my concern is. My concern is bringing it up more. Sorry, let me bring this out. Yeah, my concern is not going down further with this bottom one, it's going up. So as long as we have more than that, where, okay, now let me put it back on this tripod, hold on. Okay, like I said, my concern now is, what I want to happen is, I'd like to have both of these smashed tight nice, and still be able to spin them both really free. That way I know nothing's in a bind when we do this. Because a lot of these machines, this top bar will come down real far, you know, to get that. And I mean, look, we're bending that quite a bit, you know what I mean? So it's always gonna be, and I know these bushing, I know these brass oiled bushings are made for that kind of stuff, but I don't want them to wear any sooner than they need to. So I figured if we did it this way, you know, and had this perfectly meet in the middle, both of them, they're both going to spin. See, this has to come up some more because I ain't got it cut out yet. But if we have them both meet in the middle and they're both smashed, they're both going to spin free as can be. And that's what we want. That's what I want. So, all right, I'm going to take this off, take it over to the mill. I'll bring you guys back over there. We're going to drill it and tap it real quick. Okay, first things first, you guys. We need to find the center of the block. So this is the stair. I got a bunch of different ones too, but I like using my stair all the time. It just, I don't know, just seems like it does better. So we want to turn this inward until that thing stops wobbling and then goes off center just a hair. Right there. So we'll zero that. Okay, now let's drop this down. I got this zeroed where it was too. I like keeping this in the same spot too. Put this back on 0, the height of it, right there. Okay, now we'll go back the other way, just till it pops, boom. Okay, now up here, let me show you. Okay, we zeroed it the other way, so now we'll hit the y-axis and hit half. So now we know that's our half distance. So now, let's go back down here, and now I'm going to drop it back down. Let me take it away from it. We'll drop it back down. Now up here, I'm gonna put it on 0. And 0 should be our center. Right there. So I'm gonna lock that way down. So now we're centered from back to front, okay? And I kind of got it right close to about where we want it. Let me put a bit in it. Hang on one second. Okay, we need to go that way a little bit to make it where our mark was. Right about there. And I think that'll give us plenty. I can probably go down at least. I mean, I'd like to be in here somewhere, but because then we can go as far as we want. But the problem is, let me figure out what size bolt I'm going to put in it real quick. We may go there. Give me 1 second. All right, guys. I like 3/8/16 because I like the hex, the hex head, and it fits it snug. Both this and the slot we made. So what we'll do is, I want to keep it where it's at. Obviously we can't, I'm going to have to cut this bolt down after I figure out the depth with all this on the thing and the thickness and how much more. But if we go down, let me come out a little bit more. If we go down to about right there, if I stay in that area and go down about right there, that'll give us plenty of thread. So that's 0.529 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set this, I'm going to zero it out. First we're going to go ahead and go back in here and make our initial, zero this back out right there. We'll keep that there, we don't got to move it or anything. Okay, let me bring this up a little bit. I don't think I ever zeroed that one. Yeah, okay, let's zero the X, I'm sorry. Now, let me go ahead and put a little, I got to get my air gun back over here. Okay, now what we'll do is, actually, I do got to, I can just go straight down. I'm going to find the bit that we need for that. Obviously, we got to drill I'll probably use the same bits we had that we just did that with, as far as starting it. And let me grab those. All right, guys, I took our gauges and I zeroed out so I know how far this bit goes down. We'll do the same with our final bit. Zero this back out. I'm gonna let the table come up. I'm not gonna do the arm. Okay, so we'll lock that down there. We'll lock down this because I'm gonna let the table come up, like I said, slow as I can. So let's go ahead and drill this one first. I'm gonna go slow, and we'll stop when this zeros. I got the table coming up now with the power feed. I got it on real slow, and I'll just stop it when I get close and finish off. Getting there. Okay. I'll go the final way with my manually, just so we don't go no further. Right there. Okay. Let me take it back down. I'm gonna get my blow gun. We got a mess to clean here again. Okay, now let me look up real quick what bit I need for the 3/8/16 tap, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, it's calling for a 5/16. That is literally the same bit we used to drill the hole in that before we slotted it with the thing. Okay, now I'm gonna do the same thing because my bit size is the length of it's different where I had it, so I should have probably set some kind of a stopper, but that's okay. What we'll do now is unlock this again, come this way with it, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll bring this up to 0. That's what we'll do. We'll zero it back out where it was, and then right there. And then I don't think it's gonna give me enough room up inside. Yeah, it ain't gonna. We're already 2. Okay, so then I just took this right on there. I just eyeballed it just to get us close, right about there. I'll re-zero it. Okay, now let's drop it back down. Take this back to 0. Lock it back up, and same thing. I need to get some of that oil out of there. I'm gonna keep it at the same speed. Did I say I need to get some of that oil? I need to get some of them shavings out of the oil. That is not, that bit is, let me go find a better bit. I thought we used that one. Maybe we used the other one. That one's horrible. That one is horrible. So we're almost right at the top of it. Okay. just so I can put it back where it was. Yeah, it's got a burn right there at the tip of it. Let me go find another one, guys. I'll be right back. When you know it, guys, that bit was a little bit taller. About there, about there, about there. Okay, manually. Right. Oh, it even feels like the bottom of the hole of that little one. So that means good then. The same place. Okay, now let's tap and roll. Like rock and roll. So what I kind of like to do, I don't know if I can do it with this one. Hang on 1 second. All right, guys, I got it zeroed back in. I'm going to start it with this. I got it on a real slow speed. Now we're going to use this to go down because I'm just going to bump it. I'll show you what I mean by that. So it stops right there. Yeah. It always tightens up on you when you do that. Okay, now I can go down with the table. Now we know we're going down straight. I would do this with the machine the whole way, but no thanks. I've broke too many things here lately. I'm not trying to break this. So we'll put it back on the thing. Try to still keep it straight. We have to start cutting even more than that. Back it off a little. We'll pull it out here in a few and see what it looks like, just to see how far down we are. These are just some gear wrench taps. They're not like $1 million set or nothing, so I got to be careful. Even the ones that are real pricey are not guaranteed not to break ever, but I think they're a little stronger. Let's take it out and see. We're maybe halfway or a little bit past halfway. Put some more oil on there. And it is a pretty flat one, so we can go down probably almost to the bottom of that thing. I think even where we're at right now will probably be plenty, but we'll check it again here in a second. I'm just cutting a little at a time. Here, let's check it again. Oops, get out of there. Thought it was coming loose. Man, it's probably only another thread. Yeah, I'd like to go more than that. I think I can go down just a little bit more. I hate to push my luck, but you see that's pretty flat. So even though it's flat, that's where the smallest part of the tap is. The fattest part is up here where we're at. So unfortunately, I think I'm pretty close to that. Yeah. Okay. I think we can live with that. Let me hang on 1 second. Zero that out a little bit. Right there. Okay. Turned out pretty good. Yeah, we're all the way at the bottom. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll figure out. Oh yeah, we got plenty, guys. We got plenty to tighten up on there. So, all right, guys. Yeah, just as I thought, I tightened it up some with this and just kind of worked the thread some, and I got probably another 1/16 more of thread in there. I mean, look how much more it went down. Yeah, we got plenty. Right there's all the way down. So now what we'll do is I'm gonna get my stuff set back up and kind of get where we need this to be cut. So let me get that back on here and I'll bring it back in a few. I think, oh, we're good. Are we or not? Man, we're just a hair. We're just a hair. Man. Okay, so what I need to do is clean that front part up just a hair. Give me a second, guys. I gotta clean this front part up just a hair. And I'm gonna do that with, I'll probably just do it with my the whiz wheel. And then I'll take that deburr and clean it. I'll show you how. I don't want to bore you with it. I'm probably just going to go like this. Yep. Give me a few. Yeah, it wasn't much, guys. Just a little bit. Okay. So I need to find the bottom. Then I need to mark how much. Right there. Yeah. So check that out. It ain't going to be. It ain't. Well, I got to go. This thing's up on it. I got to grind this out of here. So we're at an angle with this top one, but if I hold it where it needs to be at, we're gonna have. That's going to be nice. I'm going to be so happy I done this and made them both adjustable. Yeah, it's going to be right about there. That's where I don't feel anything on that. Let me measure the distance between, because I want to keep this washer too. Hang on 1 second. All right, I need to get my chair in here. I built a chair and I put it in the other shop and that's where it's been. I need to bring it in here. I could be sitting on it right now. Okay, so what we got, let me try to get that, there we go. I want that flat as it can be. So that's 0.153. So if we go take off 0.2, that'll make up for the, you know, to give us to be able to tighten it more. So 0.2 is what we need off. Now I just need to figure out, am I going to do it in the lathe I don't have my collet chuck in there, is the only thing that sucks. Let me see if it'll hold this head decent. Hold on 1 second. All right, guys, I touched off. So we need to go, let me bring this to the tip of that. Actually, let me see what that says. That's on millimeter. Let me put it on inches. See if that's the same. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll zero it there. And let's start taking some off. Let me try to, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Okay, I didn't touch anything other than turn this. I'm gonna try to take a little bit off with the parting blade. Just so we're not, if it'll do it, I don't know. I think that parting blade is not in the right area. Yeah, it's gotta come down. All right, guys, I used the parting bit to take off some of it. And now we'll put this back on here. Put that back where we had it. And then take it in the 0.2. Boy, there's no way. Let me recheck this, guys, because that does not seem right. I only moved it. According to this, 0.2 is right there. That's where we want it. So I must have had this thing more towards 20. So let me recheck it. Give me 1 second. Touch back off. Okay. Zero that. I only want to go another roughly 3 thousandths of, or I think it's 3 thousandths of an inch here. I'll zero that. We're about there. Taking a little bit off at a time. I think we got, if I'm reading this right, 24 tenths. Right here is 0. Okay, let me take the file, clean this up a little bit. All right, let's give this a try. Bring it back over here. Make sure there's nothing in these things. I need to get that welded in the right spot. Yeah, we're good, guys. We are good. So essentially, I'm gonna have to turn this at an angle to get it tight because this thing's still holding it. Oh yeah, that is gonna be killer. Man, I'm so glad I did that. That's gonna make me feel better. I need to grind that down just so we can get some. Cool. Now we got to figure out what we're doing for the bottom, like what we're going to do down here to, once we adjust that and tighten it, we can adjust this up to it just to put a stopper there, like something to keep the pressure on this instead of all on that little bolt, you know what I mean? So when we're tightening the top one down, it's going to get, the pressure is going to be against this thing, not this. So I need to figure out what to do here. I was thinking about just putting a little knob with a thread in it and just threading the thing up in there, you know? That might do it. So let me figure that out and I'll bring it back. Okay, what I come up with here, we'll use this as our DOM. I don't have any, so we'll drill it and tap it. But basically what it'll do is we'll cut it at an angle so it's going in straight. And we're only going to use from probably about there up for a thread. Then out of this, we'll make our little handle. We'll turn it down and make that probably from here up will be a threaded 1/2-inch thread that will screw up in there, and we'll turn that nice and maybe knurl it so it's got some grip to it. So first things first, we'll take this over to the lathe. We'll drill it. I think it's 27/64 bit that they're calling for a 1/2-inch to tap it, but we'll only drill it in about, I don't know, so far there, maybe 1/2 inch. Then we'll cut it and then we'll tap it. Let me think about that, because I may want to cut this first, the angle of it, before we chop it off. I'm not sure. Let's go put it on the lathe and we'll figure it all out. Okay, I did have to sharpen that bit up. I'm going to try to do this without getting in the way of the camera. It's a little tough because my other mount thing, I got it in use in the other shop. I got to get it down from the top there. It is cutting nice though, especially with oil on it. Oh, I need to glue these glasses on my shirt. We'll go a little more than we need. That way, a little room for error. I'm going to drill about 1 inch. It'll be about right. And it's going in smooth right there. I got that all black with that. Sorry, guys. Yeah, now you can see some of it. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's probably good there. Okay, so let's remount this. Change our angle here. All right, let me grab the, just to see how far we actually went in there. So it's just under 1 inch, 0.933. Okay, so let's go ahead and, that being our front, What I'll do is I'll take it to 1 inch and then we'll finish drilling it. We'll call that 1 inch. Okay, I'm gonna lock that down. Okay, put the right one on it. Actually, I don't need that yet. What am I doing? Let's take this out of here. That's when I re-drill from this side. Okay, let me get my little chamfer tool. We'll clean that a little bit and then we'll put our tap through it. Okay, now let's start this. Actually, what we might do is, let me start this first. Put a little oil on here. Yeah, let's do this. Slow this down. I'm just jogging it, just till we get a little churn out of it. Okay, now, what I'm gonna do, I think we gotta go, whoops, can't go that way. See, that thing ain't big enough. What I might be able to do is do it this way. Let me go and use this upper one. See how that works. Well, we need to tighten that up a little bit. Oh, come on. Ah, it's not even cutting that hard. I just can't get a good grip on it. Yeah, it's got me. Let's just do this so we don't mess it up. Oh, come on. I need to get a longer arm to be able to and keep it straight. Then I can use my jog feature. Not sure what end, so I'm going to clean up both ends. Sorry again, guys, if I'm in the way of the camera. We'll clean both sides of it. Got a nice thread though. Okay, so there's our piece. Both sides are clean, so when we decide what side we want to cut at an angle, that'll be our piece. So let me set this other one up. We'll start turning it down to make the knob that screws into this. Give me a second. Let's see where we're at. So 0.6, and we need to be at 1/2 inch. Let's go. Actually, let me slow that down. Give it a little bit cleaner cut. Now I think it's better the other way. So 592, about 590. Let's just keep going slow. I don't want to overdo it here. About 540, 543. Okay, let's go. 0.75. I'm only going to take it in a little bit just to see. So that took off, made it 530. Let's go to 125. So 518. All right, let's take it down. Then I'll do a light clean pass. I'm going to keep it right where it was and go one more time. It's like a spring pass. Anything it missed for like deflection. 510, 512. It's all within there. Okay, so I believe that's at 1/2 inch. It won't even cut yet. So, all right, guys. I got that at $4.99, and I got this live center on the back. Trying to just keep it going with it. See if we can't keep it straight, slow. I got it oiled and steady. Man, I wish these arms was longer on this. It's cutting it. I'm running out of room. Let me figure out what to do here. Just putting a nice cut on it. I got to figure out how to keep this thing. My arm ain't long enough on it. So I got that open all the way. I don't want it stopping on them backers, whatever they call them. So how do we do this? I don't think it's going to catch this plate good down here. I mean, we're just at the tip of it. Well, maybe if let me see something. No, it's wanting to lift it. We kind of need a tall ledge, just like this one here. But like I said, at one point, well, let me do this. There we go. Now, straighten this out so we have more room. Can I go that way? That's all I can go there. So the thing is, man, we're gonna still have the same issue. I'm gonna hit my chuck. We'll get what we can out of it. I got that so close. That's my thread. So now we don't have no more of that. Stay straight for me. Let me get where'd I put them at? I don't want that thing busting off of my face. Hold on, let me find my glasses. They're literally right beside me. All right, come on. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I knew that was coming. Man, I got that tight too. You know, we're literally gonna be, let me see if I can't take that. No way on it. Oh, let's do this. There we go. Yeah. Oh, man. Now this again. Oh, come on. I got no room with this tripod. I need to fix that other one I got. We're gonna make it, guys. At least as far as I can. Okay, I don't think we're gonna need any more than that. Yeah, I'm clear down to the back. Oh yeah, we got plenty. We're in good shoes. Good shape. There's our thread, you guys. Awesome, awesome. Let me try to, I just want to clean these down a little bit on there, but we'll knock them down. Yeah, we're good. We are good. Okay, so what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to bevel that in some, like a relief area. Let me get my thing back on here and set all this up. All right, so I'm just going to take this down a little bit back here. Yeah, a little bit of a bevel. All right, let's check it. I think we'll be all right. Not that we're going to be going that far in. Okay, I'm going to have to, that's going to be fine back in there, but we have to do it to this one too, a little bit. I need to bevel that in there some more. It should have actually done it. Let me clean up in these threads a little more. It stops right there. It's this one. I'm almost sure it's this one. But I've got plenty to where it won't hit nothing here. So I need to clean this one. Maybe I can go in this way with it. I just need to bevel it down some more. Yeah, because that's more this way. Okay. We're going to clean all it up and knurl it. But that's going to be cool, man. Check that out. That's the side with the most. We'll stick with that side. That's got to be enough. Oh, yeah. It's right there. I mean, it's literally right there. Okay. We're not going to go up all the way that far anyways, but it's literally almost right against it. All right, let's get this reset back up so we can finish our knob, and then we'll get going with the rest. All right, guys, I literally took my boring bar and just cleaned the edge of it. I mean, look at it. It's all the way down now, flat against it. So that's what we wanted, just in case we got, it's not going to go that far. In fact, we may be cutting some threads off. So, yeah, I just like went into it just a little bit with it. Worked out great. Yep, right down on it. Perfect. Okay, so now what we want to do, I just want to clean this up a little bit. Actually, what we'll do first is, man, I probably should put my collet chuck in. I really should. I'm gonna mess these threads up. I ain't cleaned them yet, so if I have to rerun the die, I'm just gonna lightly tighten it. I don't use these things much, these knurling bars. But what I'm gonna do first is, here's what they look like. What I'm gonna do first is, I'm gonna go ahead and make a pass on this. This is a cool little tool. You can do a lot with this. Check this out. We can trim with it. We can, bevel the edges. I haven't trimmed with it yet, but let's see what it does. What was I set on? Yep, we're good. Nope. Did not like, well, I'm also not that tight on there. Let's try. Well, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's clean this with this one, and then we'll bevel our edges with that one. Yeah, remember, I don't have much on this, so let's go 25 at a time. I'm gonna have to tighten it some more. It ain't gonna let us do it. God, I don't want to tighten it too much though. Oh, I didn't have it tight at all. Let's try that. That's better. Still only going 25 though. What we'll do is, okay, now let's bevel. I'm going to show you how it bevels. Pretty cool actually. I don't want to reach across that with my jacket on. Tangle me up. I mean, it's nice for that. And you can go multiple areas with it. And then we can come over here and do the same. But I just wanted to show you guys this. I'm gonna actually, after we do make our, after we put our marks in it, I'm gonna go ahead, man, I keep forgetting what that's called. So the way this works, we take it into it, like right over the top of it, right about in the middle, Let me make sure we're not gonna hit nothing. Are we gonna be done right there? Oops, I moved it. Okay, so we'll just call that right there 0. So we don't have to go past that. No, we're still right there. Okay, so we're going to slow this down. Oops, I don't got it in gear. See how fast that is. A little more than that probably. All right, we'll get some oil on it. Man, I wish I had a better camera angle. So basically all we want to do is tighten this until we see some kind of a marking in it. Let's see what that looks like. I'm trying not to get in your guys' way. We'll just make a pass and then we'll come back again. Tighten it up some, go back the other way. See what that looks like. Nope, we're just breaking the surface. Okay, not that much. Clean my oil off too. But you know what, guys? I don't know if I'm a fan of this one. Not unless I'm doing something wrong here. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this at all. That's a little cheapie that doesn't make good marks. I'm going as light as I can, and I can't even get it to turn. I moved it out, I moved it in. I don't like this at all. And I don't know where my other one is. Knurling. I just now thought of that. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to, this thing sucks. That thing is horrible. I did not like that. I don't even think I like the finish. Yeah, it's not the best. If it would have stayed good, it might have been, but that's horrible actually. Why is that not working? Flat out cheapy. Yeah, these things are not wanting to do what they're supposed to do. Let me clean this back off, guys, and I'll bring you back. All right, I don't know what I was thinking, guys, but I went ahead and just made that like our upper knob's gonna look. Why I wanted to knurl it, I don't know. But anyways, so that's gonna match our top one. But this is steel, and that's gonna be aluminum. But everything's good shape all the way down. Spins nice and free and smooth. I went ahead and re-ran the tap one more time over it just to clean up anything, you know, from being in that chuck, but it's super smooth. Now, hang on. Okay, now what we want to do is what I'm thinking about doing is coming down about, I don't know, maybe leaving like a 1/4 of an inch up here, and then shave off the threads, clean it off, and then make that into a ball, okay? And then make sure the threads still start and everything. We'll probably restart our tap again. So that way, and then I'm going to also put, gotta tighten that. Then I'm going to also put, we got to find out where it's going to all sit nice. I'm going to drill a little to match that ball with a bit and make a little round indentation into that part. Okay, so you get the point. Once we roll that up in there, that ball will sit in the bottom of that. Just a radius, you know what I mean? Not in a little teeny ball, just a radius that's going to be strong. And then what I'll probably do is heat treat this. I'll probably heat treat this bolt so that don't, you know, smash up and get funny. It won't, because once we put that against it and it's snug and we tighten that one down, there's also going to be a collet on the shaft that holds this back, you know, so it don't move. So none of that's going to go anywhere, and you're not going to be, you know what I'm saying, cranking that top thing down to where it's ripping the metal in half, just to where it all works, you know what I mean? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and make that ball in the lathe. That's, like I said, all I'm going to do is just clean that off a little bit in the lathe, and then I'll just round it with the tooling and make a little ball there. Nothing fancy. Then we need to figure out, I'll probably get our piece, put it up here, figure out the angle we need to trim that off of. And I'm also thinking, I'm probably going to make the hole in that sheet metal a little bigger than this 1/2 inch hole. Probably maybe closer to 5/8, because that's going to be at a little angle. Well, this won't, but the plating is, so that's kind of like at an angle. So if we go a little bit bigger, when our thread shoots through that, it won't be grabbing the edge of that metal, you know, our wall. So let me get this cleaned up real quick. Like I said, just real quick. I'm not going to be nothing fancy on it, and then I'll come back when we're proceeding with this. All right, guys, right there. That's all I wanted, with just a little round end, and we'll do the same on the bottom of that, just so it's got somewhere to rest in there. You know what I mean? Just like a little pocket. That's it. So it doesn't mar up. Not that we're going to be pulling this thing out of there, you know, all the way out. And then on this side, we'll put a jam nut that we can just snug up. You know what I mean? So it stays tight once we put it against it. So that's it. Pretty simple, pretty cool. All right, so now we need to figure out where to put this hole at. I just was undecided whether I wanted to do it now or wait until I weld that on there. Let me grab that piece. That's the straight one. Whoops. Yeah, so I need to figure out, that's our bottom with the thing cut out. So that's got to be, I need to try to figure out what angle that is, and maybe I could set this up in a collet on my mill and then just mill that down so it's nice and even. So let me grab a couple tools so we can guess or see what this is. Okay, once again, guys, I'm no machinist, but I took shape of that and it was 103 degrees. So then I just put it here in this collet block and squared off of this vise, and both on the back edge of this thing, it's correct. And then if I look from over here on this edge, it is almost on the money, if it ain't on the money. So we're gonna start here. I got it all locked in. What I've done with this is I took a bolt, a 1/2 inch bolt, cut the head off of it, and just cleaned up both ends, and I cut the thread way down so it's only comes in about right here. And then I just snugged that up with some channel locks, and that's it. Let's see if we can do something right or wrong. Glasses, please. Let's give it a whirl. I'm gonna take this, and I don't even know if I'm doing this with the right thing. It should cut it all right. We'll check, we'll see. I don't know. We're all just guessing here. Okay, what I'm gonna do is lock this in. Okay, make sure these are unlocked. I'll do this manually now. Let's start. Let's touch off here. Okay, right there is 0. Let's go ahead and take it 100 thousandths. See what this does. Oh, let's go 250. I can probably go way more. Let's just try to be easy with it. Because we're sticking out kind of high. We'll go 250 at a time, just to be safe. Hopefully I'm not in your way. Hang on. Nothing feels like it's vibrating bad or anything, so I take it we're okay. Try to speed it up just a hair more. Ooh, that's hot on my neck. The little chipskis ain't no jokeskis. And what we'll do is, while it's in this, we'll make a mark on it in the center on this side. So that way when we put it on that metal, we'll do both sides, the front and the back. So we know right where the middle's at. Of course, this should only fit flat, but we don't want it flat, crooked, weird ways. We want it front to back flat. Even, I mean. We may have to run that tap through there one more time. We'll see. Woo! Probably asking yourself, same thing I am. Why don't I use that? Whoops. Man, those little things are hot. Just about there. That's a good little cutter there that I got. I don't think I've ever even changed the cutters on it. And I probably had it since I bought this mill. That's a couple years. I've cut all kind of stuff with it. Probably because I'm so careful with it, I don't ever take it to its limits. I mean, it's barely got things coming off of it. Look at it. I can probably go twice this much. But like I said, it's up high. I don't want to press my luck. Imagine one of those going in your eyeball. Pretty close here. I'm going a little less because I don't want to go more than we need. Ouch, 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 ouch. Just till we get on this back edge. One more time, I think. It's probably going to end up being right. I'm taking off a lot less now because like I said, I want to stop it right when it gets to this back edge. Close, but no dice. One more 100. Ooh, I mean, this is probably it right here. I think it's there. We'll take a little tiny bit more. Okay. Like I said, I don't want to take off too much just till we figure out if this is the right angle or not, because we might be. There we go. Okay, now what sucks is, I got my blowgun over here again. To take this off, let's see what we got going on here. No, I think we got it. Let me set you guys back up over there. Hold on. I want you guys to see it with me. Can you guys guess what we didn't do before I took it out of there? That's it. That is our straight up and down. But Mr. Ding Dong didn't put the lines where our true centers are. So I'm going to put it back in there, line it back up, take my tool, find the center, and then I'm going to mark the back and the front. Man, I got something crawling on me. Hang on. We'll put that on the bloopers. All right, let me put this back in here and do our markings, and I'm going to clean this up a little bit, run the tap back through there just so everything's kosher with the threads, because we got some, look, little crappies in there. All right, okay, I found the center, front to back, left to right, and I just took an end mill and marked them each spot. Here's that thing I made. It's just a little bolt. I took the head off and I snugged it down onto that. That's what held it in there. I keep these. I didn't have one this size, which is real funny. I deburred the top, still works good. Okay, so now we gotta find center and front to back on this. The thing is, it might be clear out to this edge because I don't want my thread way back on that block. So I might put it right to that edge. I'm trying to see where that's gonna end up at if I do that. Let me see something. Can I do it this way? There's our center. So yeah, we want to actually just past that frickin' edge to make it kind of in the center. Of course, it wouldn't hurt to be just right there. I mean, it ain't gonna be, but that'll be. I think the height of that thread's gonna be perfect too, because by the time we take it up, right here is maximum without grinding that thing out right now, and that would be with that inside of a round little hole. So look, I think we're gonna be good. We may even have to end up taking just a tiny bit off this side. Maybe not. I don't think so. That's quite a bit in there. Plus I'm doing it there. Yeah, see, once I'm up here, once we go here, Yeah, we're not even, we'll be good. Oh yeah, what am I thinking? We gotta go to the thickness of that, dummy. All right, let me find, I think we'll go like this. I think we're gonna go, I'm gonna mark the center up here. We'll put a line it that way, and then we'll put a line left, you know what I mean? These parts here. Let's figure out the center of this. Oops, man. Take it easy, buddy. That's 2, so we need 1 inch. All right. Don't watch, nobody likes, I'm getting some of these for Christmas. My little scribers. My wife bought me some, so I ain't gotta do this no more. Okay, there's that right there. Okay. So now, what is this? 593. So essentially we have our mark for, they're all lined up. Yeah, we have our drill hole right there. So we could drill that. Let's drill it. Yeah, we got our mark there. Because I'm going to go a little bigger anyway, so if I wanted to move that thing around and set it where I need it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, let's do it. All right, I got this centered in that where we marked it, and I'm doing it with the 5/8 end mill. The last is, jeez. Oh, that might be. Let's see if it likes that. Takes it a second for that to get up there. There we go. Get on the bottom. Get on the bottom. Yeah, once it gets going, you gotta slow it down or it'll pump it out of there. Like a little wax protectant on it. Now that it's off, it's cutting a lot smoother. Oh yeah, it's just shaving now. Just like that. See the rest of it come off? Yeah, it's all off now. All right, let's see what we got. Look at that. That's how you make plugs. No, I can't see anything. Let's go back over here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Man. I guess when we're good, right? But you know what, guys? We're still, right there's the center. Oh no, we're good. What was I thinking? I need to start thinking, right? I'm not even at the edge yet. Yeah, right there is right, pretty daggone close. Okay, so now we need to figure out exactly where the center of this hole is. Well, look at that. I can think better off camera. All right, guys, look what we got. Are we in the perfect? I don't want it touching the threads, right before the threads. A little bit of a bevel. We're good. Okay, so what we need to get this thing flattened out so we can get the correct thing on it. Anyway, I'm just trying to get a feel for it here. Sorry if my big head's in the way. Oh man, this is gonna be so sweet. God, you guys, I can't tell you how happy I am that I've done this. It was extra work, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna feel pretty good about that because now I know that my bars won't be in a bind. And that little simple thing right there, you know what I mean? Is gonna make everything better. Of course, we got nothing together here. I don't have any. I'm just trying to see kind of where our, I know we ain't going up that high, but yeah, we're not going to be going that high. But, and I'm not all the way at the end of the thread, so we're good there. I just wanted to make sure we had enough thread, you know what I mean? So that's what we'll do. We're going to keep this to the edge, this thing over here, almost to the edge. And then we got marks top and bottom here too. We'll line it all up. And man, what I really like to do is TIG weld this. I'm not a good TIG welder, but I'm willing to try again. Worst case scenario, we grind it and clean it, you know what I mean? But I kind of like to leave them there if they look decent and just for once have a decent TIG. Oh man, I got to start doing it more, that's all. I just don't do it enough. But man, that's just awesome. Yeah, I wanted to basically get all this stuff finished because once we weld this, these are the longer taking things. I mean, I've been working on this all day today and a few hours yesterday and a couple hours the day before. So look, I mean, you see what I mean? It takes time. But now everything's made and saved on files and how I did it and blah, blah, blah. I could go through quick if I wanted to make another. I don't know why I would want to make another one, but what else? So, yeah. And then, you know, all we have to do now is, after these are done, is make that one last knob for up here. And that's all pretty much the machining we got. The rest is welding, putting it together, dealing with mounting the engine. Oh, no, we do have to make another piece. I ordered a Lovejoy coupling. It's 1 inch to 7/8. And reason being, our shaft is 1 inch on that end. It'll go on that end. And then I'm making a piece for the motor. Believe it or not, I made it, and I'll have to show it to you guys when we do it, but they say it's tough to make splines on a plasma machine. But I took the gear out of that motor and went through Fusion with the picture and outlined it, made a spline around it, and cut it out of the metal. And man, I mean, literally, I just had to clean up with a file in there, and it fit perfect. It's snug. And it's the only metal part that I can weld to that came with that. Everything else is like aluminum or cast, so we can't weld it. That's why I had to make the new metal plate. You'll see it when I show you. But so we'll weld it, and then we'll make a knob on the end of it that's 7/8 round that coupling will slip over. So it'll slip on that part and on our shaft, and it'll have some give in there. You know, it's got a rubber thing. It's like a forgiving if it's something's in a little bind or something or anything like that. It's a little forgiving in there. So that's why, and they use them a lot. And like I got them on these lead screws on the plasma machine. They have them on the ends, but the one we're getting is larger. Let me show you these just to give you an idea until we do it. These are solid though. That's a coupling, but the one we got it comes apart in 2 pieces, and in the middle there's a rubber thing in there, and it's like teeth that catches it all. Pretty cool, and that's what makes it all forgiving. So, all right, let me figure out our next move. I don't know what I did here. Here we go. Let me figure out our next move, and I'll bring you guys back here real shortly. All right, guys, let me show you this real quick. So this is adjusted at its most close point. Here's what I was talking about. I can take my hands and turn these real simple. No bind, no nothing, okay? This thing all worked out great. Let me take the camera off. My phone's battery is real low. Try to show you guys real quick. It turned out super sweet. All that did. I'm still gonna clean that up nicer. By the way, I didn't TIG yet. I didn't have no gas, so yeah, look at that bad boy. It's looking good, guys. I'll bring you back tomorrow when we're doing some more. Like I said, the phone's getting ready to die, but I wanted to just show you that. All right, you guys, see where we're at. So we got all of our stuff put together. I put the, what do you call these things? I don't know if they're coupling or I'll think about it. Anyways, we got all this stuff set up. Nothing's welded yet, just as you've seen it. I did add a needle bearing in between on the front and back, kind of like we did on the inside here on the vise. It's just people don't do it. I'm gonna try it just because I got the lower one adjustable, so they're not going to be in a bind. So we're all the way closed here. So I want you to see. I'm gonna spin the back. I'm turning it ever so easy. I mean, with very low effort. I mean, this thing is just so smooth. Back here, did the same thing. Needle bearings. There's a thin washer on each side of the needle bearing, and those are all against. Nice little slack in there. But I mean, look, I'm just very little effort. And it's churning so nice. So that's going to be so nice. Nothing's going to be in a bind, and that was my whole purpose of doing it the way I did it with the lower adjustable one. There's ones out here, you know, when you buy them, and that's probably the reason why they do it. Make the lower one adjustable to bring them together instead of keeping this one stationary and then bringing the bottom one down all the way and having it in such a, you know, it's going to be in such of a bind. That's going to be harder on your oiled brass bushings as well. So this here I think will make everything last a lot longer. Okay, here's the motor. What I done was I took a picture of this, I put it in Fusion 360, and I'm going to show you here when we make this mount. I'm going to kind of go over it real quick. I ain't going to spend much time on it because there's a lot to do there, but not a lot, but you know, more than this video. It's going to, you know, too much for the video. If that's something you guys want to see in the future on how I do that with the pictures and make the part per picture, put it down in the comments there. We'll make a little video on that if you guys are interested in that. So anyways, I took a picture of this. I made my splines in the picture, and I made I'll show it to you. It's over here in the lathe. So this is the circumference of the inside of that, and it just, let me show you, hang on a second. Let me grab the old piece so you can understand. Okay, this is the part that it was on there, and that's what the cable was spooled around, okay? As you can see, it's got the teeth there and the teeth there. Now this is made out of aluminum, so we can't weld to that. A lot of guys are taking this, they're cutting it about right here, and they're using this back piece here to do what we're getting ready to do with what we're making, and that will sit in there, okay? They're cutting it off, and then they're making a piece for this end, and then that'll go on this part here. If you watch, there's a couple, I think it's Red Ginger is the name of the page. I'll see if I can't find the page, and I'll put it in when I edit the video. But when he makes his, he uses this part here and cuts it, and then he makes some pieces and he puts it together on the shaft. we're going to use the Lovejoy coupling, which is 1 inch on this side and 7/8 on this side. You could get these however you want them. These come apart, and that's a rubber bushing inside here, and that's what makes it a little forgiving if something is in a bind. So these are nice to use. And this whole thing, and this is the reason why I'm doing it the way I'm doing this whole build, is I want to make this thing where we could take it completely apart. So like on Make It Customs, he welds his gears to the shafts, which there's nothing wrong with that. I preferred to do it this way. I drilled and tapped and put set screws. There's 3 of them in here. There's 2, there's 3. Same on that one. So I just drilled and tapped a 1/4 20 set screw. So, but now I could pull it apart, change bearings, change bushings, all the way. The whole shaft can come out from front to back. On his, he'd have to take apart the front and then pull. This will all stay with it and pull apart. But if something were to happen with one of these ends or something and I had to replace that shaft, then we'd have to grind that off, you know, the weld, pull it. You could do it, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, you'd have to grind the weld off, pull that off, and then replace your stuff. So I want to make it to where it's all comes apart. So anyways, here's the part. This is aluminum. So I had to make it a plate out of steel. Now this gear, spline gear, it's steel. So what we're going to do now is, and there's how that turned out where I made those splines in that plate. I mean, it turned out great. I mean, I just literally had to take like a triangle file and just clean them just a little bit, and it fits so snug. So that turned out great there. So now what we're getting ready to do, I'm going to ground this. We're going to weld this in, and then we'll clean it. And then I made this little piece here, which has the same circumference as that part there. And then that'll sit on the outside, and then we'll weld that to this. And that'll be our 7/8. The sprocket will go into the machine, and that'll be our piece in between. So I think you can get the picture now. And I'm going to make this to where it's, I'm going to figure out a way to set that to where it's perfectly centered. So we'll figure it out with a dial indicator or something. But I'm going to weld this now. I'm going to try to set this up a little bit where you guys can see. Give me a few here. Okay, as you can see, you guys, I got this here to kind of protect. We're going to take some anti-spatter, and I'm going to spray this down. And I'll also cover it with my glove, but this is just for extra protection. All we're going to do here is, I'm just going to keep throwing some little tacks in there, and then we'll try to, we'll churn it out with the lathe so we can make our next part, you know, go on. So let's just see how it turns out here. If I don't fall down. This is also, the room I got in here is very minimal. Hopefully my setting is correct. All right, let's go for it. Let me clean this out a little bit. Okay. Sorry if I cover this up. I got to do what I got to do here, so. You know what, guys? Oh, boy, I didn't even have my gas on. I thought it was welding weird. So let's hit it over here a little bit, and then I'll clean that off. Let me clean the face of that off real quick, and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, I took a little light pass off of that just to get that, because we're gonna be covering that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to churn this to where it's fitting this super snug. So we'll keep turning it down until we can get it perfectly on there, because that way that'll kind of help, you know, center that. So do I want to do it with this one or this one? Sometimes I like this one a little bit better. Let's try it. Okay. I know I can mic that, but I want to try to get it to be super snug. Yeah, I think that gear is close. It's like some kind of a pop metal or something, because of the way it was welding, a little funny, but we got it to weld. Kind of snug. Let's see if I can, and I'm just going to barely clean that. I don't want to take too much. Ooh, that's noisy. I'm going to clean that up once we weld this. I'm going to put that other one back on there. For some reason, I don't know why that does that. Yeah, we'll be good with this. Okay, so now I just need to figure out maybe if I can put that. You know what? I'm wondering if yeah, let's put this back in there, drill a hole in it. We'll put the live center in, and then that'll help us keep it straight. Just a little hole. I got to reroute my lines here. I put in a mist system like my mill. I made these little, it goes around that, and then I'm going to clamp them to the bottom of that and along that back of that lathe there. I just ain't done it yet. Okay. We'll clean that up. Okay, let's put our live center in. I want to put some kind of pressure on it. That way all of it's straight. All right, we'll lock that down. Yeah, we're good. Okay, let me find something to put around this stuff real quick and we'll spray it too. Hang on one second. All right, let's try to do this without me tripping over all this stuff. I got a serious jungle gym going over here. All right, let's go for it. I sprayed all that down, covered this with our weld blanket. Let's go for it. Okay. Nice and straight, you guys. And if it wasn't super straight, that Lovejoy coupling is what I was talking about. It is a little forgiving, so. Wipe some of that stuff off of there. Yeah, it's a good thing we got that on there. There's some spatter on there, so. Okay, I'm gonna try this real quick. I don't know if that's gonna be enough. Maybe if we can start wrong one, buddy. Be careful. Well, it sure did bevel it out. I can't, it's too big to do what I'm thinking in my head, so we gotta start here. Now let's go ahead and do some, what do you call it? Etch-a-sketch. And you're turning both dials. Right, let me try to get this cleaned up a little bit. 15 thousandths here. Try to clean some of that where we had it jittery. Nice and straight, you guys. But like I said, even if it was a little bit off, like if you were to do this at your house in a vise and a couple fixtures you would set up, you know, to make it all line up decent, centered. I'm only taking off 10 thousandths here just to clean up some of that spatter and that vibration we got on that last bit. It does that sometimes. I don't know why. On that last tool I had in here, that pointy one. Okay. I'm trying to get it only where I need it. Actually, let me grab my paper. But I don't want to really churn it any more than it needs to be because it fits real nice. I'm just knocking off if there's any spatter on that. Okay. Not doing what I was thinking of. Let me try some of this, some of the rougher paper. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking the dials, and as I'm churning this one, I'm churning them both, so it's kind of going to like curve in, because I don't want to go straight at it. Trying to find my lowest spot. I think it's right about here. Yep, I can feel it. Okay. Let's see what we got. Might be a little warm. Yeah, it's hot. Okay, I went ahead and cleaned the other side up real quick. So it fits super nice there, and I got the part in there. This here came in it. I don't even know if I'm going to use this. It's actually doesn't really do anything for me. Not anymore, actually. I mean, I don't know. It's really not doing anything for me. I mean, I don't see it benefiting at all. That might have been something in that old other bracket this was in, or that this was in, because it went right here. I think, was it this side? Yeah, I think it went on that side. Maybe just for the slop. I don't think it's going to benefit us here at all. Yeah, okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now is, we'll set this in. Just snug her up a little bit. Look at that, guys. That's going to be so sweet. All right, so now, what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you kind of like how I do those pictures, if I can get that in there. All right, so that's going to be where she mounts. What I need to do here is, I'm going to go grab this stand I got. I'm going to try to hopefully get it to where this can sit perfect. That way I can get my picture, all my measurements. They give me a few here. All right, you guys, I got my stand on there. I made these a long time ago. I wish I would have made them more, because I just got the holes. Like maybe holes in between there would have been nice too, just so I would have got a preciser, or something where it like clamped it so I can get it by the slide. But anyways, it's really close. I put the level on it. So what I'm going to do now is, this is sitting where I want it at. I need my phone, so it's obviously I'm recording with it, but I'm going to stop it. I'm going to get a picture of this above view, and then we'll take it into the Fusion, and we'll start making measurements. Obviously, we have a difference. Let's see. We have a difference of a gap right here. So I don't know if I'm going to put risers there, like weld some risers that are threaded, maybe, kind of like the round thing we made for the knob on the bottom. Maybe I might do that. Put a couple risers in there, and that'll probably definitely work. Let me get the picture. We'll get it in the computer, and I'll bring you guys back over there. All right, sorry guys, I don't have the screen record on this one. So what we'll do is, I already took my picture. I'll bring it in. What'd I do? That one. There we go. All right, and now I just kind of line it up here, just whatever. Now, hit OK. I'll come over to the canvas, right click, and calibrate. And this is what's going to make it proportional to our real world. It was 3.140 from this point. Okay, now here's our measurement. 3.140. Enter, and then it makes it the correct size. So now this is the right size. Whenever I make on here, and this is set to inches, not millimeters. So I'll make my first sketch, and what we'll want to do here is, I think, let me get a quick measurement from how big I want this. Hang on. Okay, we're going to go 10 by 4. So basically from here, we want that 10, tab 4. Okay, there's our plate. Okay, now what we want to do is, I'm going to put a couple circles here. Now this is going to be the tricky part. I need to kind of try to see where my center is going to be. Let me go get a measurement of that. Okay, so it's 0.210. Okay, now we'll go ahead and put the other one. And it kind of gives me a line. If you see that blue line there, it might be hard to see. I'm going to try to center this because my picture, hang on, 0.210. Okay, now we got a rough drawing here. Down here, I'm going to make, like I said, I need to figure out where I'm going to put those risers at. And then we can make some holes down here too. I'm going to figure that out. I just wanted to give you guys kind of the idea and of how I make these things. And then this is it. So like I said, I don't want to go too far in detail with this because it's going to take forever on this video. It's already getting long. We may have to end it here soon, but let me get this finished and I'll show you the end result. All right, you guys got her cut or got her set up. Let's go ahead and get it cut. Ground's on. Yep. That's what you call right on the edge. Boy, I used that. I should have took it over just a hair more. Hopefully it's good. Let me get a rag. Okay. Yeah, I need to grind that little nipple off there. I should have took it in just a hair more, but I was trying to use up that metal. So, all right, take it across the belt sander and we'll see how she fits over there. Let me set her back up. Okay. Alright, I went ahead and just made some little crazy designs in it, just so it ain't boring. Okay, let's just see if we're close here. Now I know I'm going to have to drill these out because the way you have to do that, let me just see if we're close. There's one. Oh yeah, we're right on them. Okay, so we just got to drill those out. So what we need to do now is, man, poopy. That would have worked, but for some reason, I should have checked it. Some reason our measurement came out short. This way. These holes are right on the edge of this backside when they should be about right there. So we need to go another, man, well, that one was a waste. Yeah, at least another inch. Half inch would do it, but, or 3/4 would do it. Let me see, 3/4 or inch. 3/4 would do it. Yeah, inch is too much. Let's go 3/4. All right, well, there's our bracket that don't work, guys. Sorry. So I'm gonna remake that real quick. I'll bring you right back. All right, we're back after my boo-boo. As I told you guys before, I'm gonna show you my mistakes too. Oh, real quick, let me show you. I went ahead and recessed these holes. That way it'll fit the head of the bolt. Oh boy, what the heck was that? I don't know. That was weird. Was it not down all the way? Yeah, no, it wasn't down. Okay, we'll put some Loctite on those too. All right, now we need to see how much. Let me go cut some of this stuff off, guys. I can barely hear. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. Too much stuff going on. So let me see where we're at. So from this side, I'm gonna try to 1.025. Man, I think 1.025 will do it. Let's see where we're at with our, okay. Yeah, see, that's gotta come up just a hair. So I think 1 inch will do it. Right there. Yeah. Oops. Actually, 0.950 is a good start off. Okay. I'm going to make 4 risers, just like that one we did down here. Like I said, I'm trying to get through this. So I'm going to make 4 of these and thread them 1/2 inch. And then I'll bring you guys back. Give me 1 second for you guys. All right, guys, I got these done. Obviously, they're just Same thing we did with those. I just cut them off to what we needed them. I think it was 0955. Yeah, 0955. Perfect. And then this one we can't put because our thing's still in the way there. But I'm going to have to probably move it in order to get, or grind it down to get this where we're going to need it at, because I want to get it, you know, those set. And these bolts got to be a little bit shorter. They are just a tad too long. Let me see something here. I think that'll be nice. Okay. It's just a slight. Okay, from the looks of this motor, this is telling me that these have to get shaved down a little bit, which means these bolts are really too long. It's telling me, but I don't see how that is because it'll put that thing in a bind, not unless these are stopping it. Yeah, probably. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. So, more like, take off another 3/16, I think. Like the thickness of the bracket. Yeah, thickness of the bracket will put us right where we need to be at. Okay, I'm gonna shave those down, and I gotta get these bolts shaved down, and then yeah, that looks level, like that. Yeah, that thing is sucking everything out. Yep, that's exactly what we need. All right, so I'm gonna take these down the thickness of this, and clean some of this off on all them, because I don't have shorter ones. I'll look, I don't think so, but I'll double check. And then I'm gonna grind this flat here, and obviously we can weld 3 of them on, or tack them in place, just to see how that mounts and stuff. And then we'll have to put the last one on once we weld it shut. So let me get that far, I'll bring you back. Okay, I got our bolts down, I got our spacers down. I'm gonna try to take a quick measurement here. Just get me close. 4 7/8. Let's hit it. I think it looks good. Well, let me get one on the back of this one. I didn't like it that much. That's better. All right, guys, we are on air. Let me see what this does. She's floating by herself. Oh yeah, man, that's nice. Ooh-wee. I like that. I like that, man. It all looks straight. I'm gonna weld these in, and I'm gonna take this off, I'm gonna weld these in, we'll bolt it back on, and I'm gonna put 12 bolts to this, see how it works. I'm anxious. Give me a second. All right, you guys, what I've done was I hooked the thing that came with it, so we got in and out, which is forward reverse. And I just got the black and red on the other end of it, so first time, here we go. Of course, we're not gonna have a slower speed, but well, it's faster that way. Let me kick that down to low. Doesn't matter. It goes. That is so sweet, you guys. Something else, I don't even have my, or do I? I don't know if I tightened that set screw up. Oh yeah, we tightened it. I was gonna say, how the heck's it turning? And yeah, they're all tight. I must have done it and didn't know, but we got it all spinning. Very, very nice. Nothing's moving like this back here. It's all, yeah, it's all feels smooth. That's me doing this button. It's real springy, it's real hard. You know, if you wanted to, well, you wouldn't have speed control, but if you wanted to, you know, take this apart and put it on a foot pedal for somebody that didn't want to go through all the next procedures I'm going to go through with hooking up the, you know, where you can variable speed it and all that, you could just hook up something like that, pedal forward, put a switch on it, reverse it, and have one speed. But that's how fast you would have it right there. You'd almost need it to slow down. For doing long straight ones, I mean, but still, if you're going to go through all this and build this, you're better off doing the, you know, what you need to do. So this one here we can't put on yet because, like I said, we got to clean that up back there and get it that weld. So really, technically, we are ready to take this thing up. Well, no, I still got to make the one more of these for the top over there for that winder. Maybe I'll make that real quick, and then, because I don't want to stop for anything. We do have to make the handle, but we can make it last. I don't know. I might just decide to do it right now too. Make the handle and one more of these, so everything is done, and all we got to do is start welding everything. This, the stand, all of it, because everything else is done and ready. Everything else is, there's nothing else to make. This turned out sweet. Yeah, all this turned out really nice. And this thing is pretty cool here. This that plate. Look, I got spatter on that from where I just hit those in. I gotta clean that back off. I don't know if I got any in my, nope, I don't got any in the gears. Yeah, it hit that plate. So, all right, let me figure out what I'm doing. You know me, I change my mind a million times, but I'll get it figured out here, bring you guys back. All right, you guys, I think I've got all the machining done. I made the handle, and this is all ready. I threaded this in. I need to get it. This is a M12 by 175 thread. What I've done here was, if you want to go back in the device build, I've done the same thing. I bought a couple of these. I popped it out of there. We made a special tool. I show all that in this video, and had to do the same procedure inside the hole as this inside here with that new tool we made. But it can't come apart. It's like a clip ring inside there, and inside there's a groove notched out in that wall. I did the same thing in there, and it spins free. So pretty cool. Just made a real simple, like a kind of like a billet shifter looking thing. And then this is ready to weld on top of there. Let me grab the camera so I can show you the other piece we made down there. So this here, it's threaded. I made it and threaded just like the rest of the things we make. All these, it's the same way. I made a flat on this side, so when I weld it, nothing's going to interfere there, but I just did it for looks. And then this will go on top there, and we'll weld it from the top, and we'll clean the weld off, and that'll be on there for good. And if we ever have to take that apart, this will just you slide this thing, you take all these off here, and then that block will slide off, and then that bolt will spin out freely out of that, because that's going to stay welded if you ever got to take all that apart. Oh no, I'm sorry. Actually, no, that won't come apart because that'll be welded up here. But you won't really need to take this off or anything. This is to be the only thing you have to take off, if anything. Yeah, I don't see this being an issue. And if it would be, we would cut it, re-drill the hole, put a new bolt in it, and do it again. If like something happened to the threads, if you're asking yourself, that's how we would have to do that. But the rest of the thing is made to come totally apart. That'll be the only thing. I just now, talking to you guys again, thought it out. So everything's ready. We're going to go ahead and take the rest of this stuff off, and we're going to start welding. We're going to pop the top cover off. We're going to weld our sides into the bottom panel on the inside and get those pretty. We're going to probably have to keep fitting the top panel on and off to make sure they're all flush up top, because when I put the top panel on and weld it, we got to weld these on this side and on the other side, and then we'll grind them flush. What I'll probably do on the sides here, I'll probably come through and put some welds. So I may take a drill bit and just drill just a little bit in between the two there, and then weld it. So when we grind it, we don't take the whole weld off. And not that it's going to be a big deal, because all of our welding and stuff's going to be held on with this. So, but that'll help that a lot. And then when we're done with the whole thing and we got all of our welds cleaned up, we'll do the JB weld thing around the whole thing, all this stuff. Anywhere we want it to look good, we're going to do it the same way. Around this stuff, I still got to clean that more. I just wanted to show you guys what I was going to do with it, obviously. And we got to weld this on, but we can't fully weld that on until this is welded. Same with this other one here. Can't put it on until that's ground down and welded in there where we have a flush area. So we're just going to go through. We're going to take it, like I said, take it apart and start with the walls on the inside. And then we'll get this bad boy welded together. We'll get our stand welded together, and it'll be time to clean things up and powder coat. This thing's almost done, guys. And then I got an idea for the electrical stuff. I'm thinking about hiding the two box components inside of the stand. I might make some walls with a little compartment. You'll see. What I got in my head, hopefully it works out that way, because we have 2 inches to work with, and our components ain't but I think 1 inch wide, maybe a little over 1 inch. So if I build my compartment, we should be able to slide it in there. I'm gonna make like a little shelf in there where we can slide them in. All of our wiring will be hid, and other than where it comes out to go to the motor. And then I got a nice little, which is probably gonna go on the other side of this. I got a nice little controller panel. Let me show it to you real quick, hang on. Okay, right here it is. So we have our forward, reverse, variable speed, little indicator on the it'll tell you, I think, RPMs, I forget what all else, but this thing's very inexpensive. It's only like, I think it was like $15. So we'll mount that flush in the side of our, somewhere in there, and that'll be our control. And like I said, all these will hide inside of the thing. See, they're not that thick, like probably 1.5 inches, so it'll just fit. I think that's the widest one, is this one. The other one's a little thinner. So yeah, if we can hide all that and do our wiring and stuff inside, that'll be pretty cool. So let me get everything apart and the welder ready, and I'll bring you back on some of the welds. I'm not going to show the whole welding procedure because that would be just a pretty boring thing to watch, but I will bring you back periodically throughout. So let me get set up. All right, guys, new plan for this. I got to thinking about that welding and all that. I want to be able to remove it, so I made another little sleeve. I put 2 set screws in it, and it'll work just fine. So what I'm going to do is weld this. I pressed this sleeve into this, but I'm going to go ahead and weld it. I'm going to maybe try to figure out a way to do it here. Maybe try to stick a piece of brass up in there, a round piece of brass. Sorry guys, I was way off. I was going to try to stick a piece of brass or something in there and then weld that shut. Kind of like them flat things I got, and it'll protect the top, you know, that area, so I don't get it on my threads. So this was already made with the hole all the way through it, because essentially I would have made it with a back to it where where it was not open, and then cut off the length I need on this side with the threads in it, because this was already tapped. This was part of the one I made for this, and I just cut it off and did it like that. I had a leftover piece. I actually shaved it down some more. This was the same thickness as that was. So anyhow, we're gonna figure out a way to weld this. Let me take this top off. I want to show you what I've done in here real quick. Hold on. Okay, I don't want to take it all the way off, but just want to show you what I've done. Put welds in here every so often. It's all nice. I got it fitting nice to the top part of that. We're going to do exactly what we said. I went ahead and welded my seams, cleaned them up just a little bit. After we set the top, I'm going to clamp it together, weld all of both sides of these. Then we'll clamp the outer sides. Well, I'll probably clamp it first. Then I'll drill some small holes every couple inches up towards the top between those, just so when I weld it, it fills in there and penetrates a little bit. Then we'll clean that off. And then that's it. They're still going to be welded together. Then I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with this, and we have to weld our other riser on here. But we can't do that until this is welded on and we clean it flush, because it sits right on top of it. So let me get this back on. I'll clamp it. I'll bring you back when I'm doing a little bit of welding, and then I'll let you know what I figured out for this thing here. Yeah, this is going to be pretty cool. You know, now we can take it off. What I do with my... Yeah, and we'll see how that, I may end up maybe making a couple flats there and then retapping that with the flats in it. So when these go against it, it'll be into the flats. We'll see if we need to later, because the only time that's going to come off is going to be when, and I'll put some Loctite on those when we do our final tightening. So as long as that's against that thread, I doubt it's going to move, but if it does, maybe we'll do it then. So that's about it. Let me get that back set up, and then I'll bring you guys back here in a few. All right, guys, wanted to see how I was doing this, so I just clamped it up in areas. This was down here, and I just kind of welded there, came back here, go back here, go back, just kind of moved around it, and they're all pretty much touchable. I just now did these, but I blew them a little bit. But even those are decent already. So what we'll do now is, I'm thinking about cleaning this side real quick, making sure they're all good so it lays flat on either side when we clamp that side. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these up, and actually I'm going to clean this first, set our plate, put that one where it needs to be at, tack it, take it off, finish welding it, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean all this. So to you guys it'll be a few, to me it'll probably be about a good 45 minutes, so be back soon. All right guys, I literally just got done about an hour and a half, and I got it smooth, all the spatters off. I mean, it's ready for a coat of JB Weld around everything. These I'm going to clean a little more, but I got them down nice. All the welds are good, but I'm going to swipe around them with the JB Weld and clean them up nice, just like we did on the Vice build here. But this side's good. I'm going to have to space it with those Fireball tool blocks, or let this sit over the ledge, because obviously those are going to be higher than the rest. So I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to clamp the other side down, just so we can weld those up. And everything else is looking really good. I mean, this thing is starting to be solid. So I mean, this thing is starting to be, I mean, it's solid, feels pretty good, looks really good. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I only have so much time after work to do this, and this stuff takes a while. I mean, Just welding it took a long time, let alone grinding it. But what I done was I grinded with this first, the stone, and then I went back through with the flapper. Now the flappers, they go quick because of the scale. Once you get into that stuff, look at it. I mean, it makes it shiny and black. You can see it in there. So be prepared to go through them. And I try to push hard. I try to like knock it off the edge of this too a little bit sometimes to clean it, and that helps. Like hold that in my hand, just lightly go over it. It just gives me a little bit more out of it, but there's that. So that's it for the day. Hopefully tomorrow I get home in a decent time. We can weld up the other side and clean it and these, and then we can, I got to clean those 2x2s up from where I've used them on here to weld with. They got some spatter on them, but no biggie. But yeah, we'll get that welded up, our stand, and then we'll get this bad boy mounted. And then I want to make a few more things on the stand itself to hide them electrical components. So we still got some work to do as far as where I'm mounting my that little thing I showed you guys with the variable control, because I'm going to mount it somewhere, you know, where it's reachable, where I can turn it up and down easy and so on. But that's it. I wanted to just show you guys how far I got here, and I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully at a decent time. Okay, all right guys, we got the other side clamped and welded. We'll probably go ahead, I'm gonna grind these up, and then we're gonna clean these 2x2s back off and go ahead and get all that set up here on the table and get that welded together. And then what I'll probably do is I'm probably gonna do the outside last when it's on the stand, because where the mount goes, I'm going to do from each side of it around. I'm not going to do underneath it. There's no sense because it bolts together there and it holds it tight. And that way I can have this thing upright and be able to do it, you know, that way. I think it'll be better. We'll see. If not, we'll put it back on the table. But let me get this all set up, or grinded, I mean, real quick. Not real quick. Probably about less than an hour. I'll get it grinded, I'll come back, and then we'll start. I'll get these cleaned up too before I bring you guys back. And then we'll get this cleaned up a little bit and get our stand sitting here. Give me a little bit. All right guys, I got our frame clamped down here, about where I think I want it. But I want you guys to see these clamps. The beauty of it, man, it's awesome. So in there, we can weld in them corners because they're open. Same with those, everything's square. Now on these here, I'm just doing this to hold this for now. What we'll do is we'll put some tacks on both sides here, maybe 3, and then after we weld either the back or the front end, I'll swap out the one of the brackets or one of the squares so we can get a weld across at the bottoms. So we'll probably weld these first in the front and the back and let them cool a little bit, and then we'll focus on this. I just wanted this to be where it was going to be at. That way, you know, everything is kind of where it goes. But the way I got it is where that post is, it'll go, the back of the bead roller will be probably either flush with this end here or just a hair over, and same with the front. The front's going to overhang for sure because of the rollers and the rods going through it, and our motor on the back. So hopefully it kind of balances itself out to be kind of centered per se, but it ain't centered. You know what I mean? The machine's going to be sitting within that chassis because the whole thing is 41 something without the bars in it, like 41. This from front to back is 40.5. So I tried to, you know, put it to where it's going to be within the front and the back. I'm going to go ahead and throw some welds on this, and I'll bring you back when I'm swapping those over there, and that way we can put some welds on that, get this thing welded up. Be back shortly. Just giving her some tacks right now. Okay, so we are tacked. I'm going to go ahead and weld this up. A decent weld. That's going to be a problem getting, let me see if I can get over there. Hang on. Hopefully I can get it from here. I got half of it. I'm going to get the rest when I'm comfortable. All right, you guys, I'm not the best welder, but they're decent and they're penetrated. So check this out. The only place that has a little bit is right there. Probably very, very tiny bit. But that could be in this. But it's pretty flat. I'm happy about that. So what I was telling you guys about hiding the electrical components I was thinking about making like a triangle or some kind of a wall there. Same in the front. Hide some of the components in there, and we'll put a bolt-on cover, you know, 1-inch strap that bolts on the outside. We'll put like tabs in there or something, where we can open it up and get to it if we need to anytime. And then that way we can hide that in there, and then we'll mount our controller somewhere on the bead roller, like flush mount it, and bring our wire out somewhere in the back. This is just a thought right now. We'll see how that goes, but that's what I have in my mind anyways. The next thing I want to do here is, it's going to be kind of tough on this, so I might get out my 2 little weld tables over there where this can hang down, and we can lay this flat on them 2 tables and put our caster plates on and get our casters on it. That way I can weld this on, or at least get it nice and tacked in place, set our bead roller on it, and see how everything's fitting. If we have to make any adjustments, we can before I fully weld that, because I want it to look good and be as straight as can be. So let me get those tables out. I'll get this over there. It's still a little bit warm. I've been trying to let it cool a little bit, and then I'll bring you guys back over there. All right, let me show you what we got. So they're all welded. I don't know if it needs any across the top or not. I doubt it, because it sits down, the pressure, you know what I mean? So I think we're good. I'm gonna let these cool a second, bolt the casters on it, flip it back up on its wheels, and then we'll try to figure out where to put that mount at, or, you know, what area. I'm gonna put a couple marks in it and try to set it in there as level as I can. So let me let this cool, bring it back when the wheels are on it. All right, guys. There it is. And that thing, I'm telling you right now, this floor is crappy crap. I mean, none of it's level. That thing rolls around here nice. So it turned out evidently as straight as I'm going to get it with what I have. Anyhow, the next thing I need to do is figure out what I'm going to do with that top mount. I need to make sure it's front to back centered, left to right centered. But the thing is, I want to make sure I don't need it to go a little like that or a little like that, you know what I mean? And I won't know that until I set the thing, the bead roller on it, and that thing is a monster. So what I'm gonna have to do is probably get it, what I just said, center it up, put some tacks in it, enough to be strong enough to hold that thing, set it on there and put some bolts through it and see what it looks like. And if I need to adjust from there, I'll have to come under here and cut the welds on one side, adjust it, and re-tack it right away, because that thing is so heavy, you guys. I shouldn't be lifting it. I'm serious. Down there where the openings are, right in there, I got these little caps. I think I have 4. If not, we'll 3D print some like I did for my press brake back there. I printed them for that. And we can print some, maybe even in blue, because that's going to be black. The whole roller is going to be black. The wheels are blue, and then our bead roller is going to be blue. But it turned out really nice. I mean, so far I'm very happy with it. The casters are really great. They're easy to lock and unlock, and they lock both ways. When you lock them, they lock left to right, front to rear. And I mean, it's so easy to lock them and unlock them. They're real nice ones, and they're cheap. They came with the stainless steel bolts and the wrenches, but the wrenches are the ones they cut out of sheet metal. But even using them once, you know what I mean? So anyhow, let me get this figured out. I'll bring you guys back when I got this centered up, and then get it welded. And I got to figure out how to lift that thing on there before I blow my hernia out again. But yeah, I'll be back shortly. You guys, I was going to wait and do this tomorrow, but I stupidly picked it up there by myself. I hope I didn't hurt myself. But anyways, man, I cannot wait. And I mean, pretty much eyeballed that. I did the tape measure front to rear, 1.5 inches, and left to right I kind of just did it with I just did a swipe with my finger on both sides. I don't know if you've seen that. I just swiped it on both sides. Obviously those ain't the bolts. I just stuck them through there so it wouldn't fall out. But man, that thing is a monster. Karl Fisher, man, this is a beast, dude. On camera, you really don't know until you build this thing. But man, dude, it's a pretty awesome setup. It really is. Hopefully you like the changes I've done to it, and the way I'm setting mine up, I mean, with how I'm going to do it with the powder coat and smooth it all out real nice. The lower adjustable one, which, man, I'll tell you what, dude, if you watch this video, Karl, you might want to reconsider on putting a lower adjustment in your thing. So different with as far as the not being in a bind, the whole shaft. And your bushings will last probably forever. Seriously, dude. think about it, consider it. It wouldn't be hard to change that for yourself. Other than that, guys, I am very excited about this. Of course I am about everything else I do. But anyhow, look at that thing, man. That just kills the one I had. It really does. I mean, phew, God. Anyhow, man, what we'll do, hang on one second. There's my idea. So what I want to do is, this will be probably like this. But what we'll end up doing is, we'll put our plates on the outside so that we have room in there. It'll just let us squeeze it in there. I thought it was skinnier than that, but it ain't. But anyways, we'll make that thing to where it'll fit in between there. All it has to do is just go in, all we have to do is hide it. So even if I had to put a washer on the plates before we weld it to the thing, just to give us a little more space, and then we can, you know, weld in our, you won't even know that I gapped it like that, because our front door will make it the width it needs to be to bolt it. So we'll make it look good. But that's what I want to do. That's my plan. I want to hide that stuff. We've only got two of them, that one and a smaller one, and I believe it's skinnier. It's the one that does the where you can do the variable speed, the DC motor variable speed box, and that's the power supply there. To convert from 110 to, I believe, 24 to 12 or 12 volts. It does both, I think. I can't remember what it goes up to volt-wise. But this is the same thing I got in my 3D printer. Well, not this one, but let's see. Yeah, you could put 110 or 220 in it, either way. We want to make this a 220, and we can make it a 220. Output, right here, DC output 12 volt at 50 amps. So yeah, mine on my 3D printer, it's 12 or 24 volt. So it's AC 115 or 230 volt plus or minus 15% input voltage, and then output's 12 volt at 50 amp. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, guys. Just trying to look it over. There's our line in, there's our voltages, and I think that's the ground. Same, I think it's the same as the 3D printer. Like I said, there's it being and I don't know what the advantage would be doing this 220, because I'll do it 220, because I got another plug where I can use the same plug as everything I use here in the shop. I use that style plug right here. I have another one, and I got the cord for it. So I need to look into that to see what the advantage of that will be. Yeah, and then this thing, it's about the same thickness, I think. Pretty close. No, it's not. It's not. That's because I got this inside of this foil. Yeah, it's way less. But from what I understand, I don't have to use this one if I'm going to use this one. This does the same thing, supposedly. So what we're going to do is we're going to wire that up, wire it into this, see if it works. And if this one works without this, this is what we're going to use. Who knows, it may smoke it. Little $14 thing. If not, this one has its own variable speed potentiometer, and it has this little LED board, which I probably won't fool with it if this thing don't work. So we'll figure it out. I just wanted to tell you where my mindset was, but I don't even think I got to change this as far as lifting it, lowering it, or anything. I think we're good. I think it's good right where it sits. I don't see nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, if it's a hair, it's a hair. You can't even see it with the eye right now. It looks totally straight on there. I mean level, you know what I mean? And if you go in the front of it, it don't go left to right. It's on the money. Trying to give you guys a shot here. Yeah, it's perfect. You look at the center pole, trying to go left to right here to give you the perfect one, but with this gimbal, it wants to churn. Anyways, will that hold it? Yeah, that will hold it. There's one right there. Okay. All right, guys, it's getting late tonight. It's actually going on 6 o'clock. I'm done for the evening. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll get some more work done on this thing, man. What I'm probably going to do is finish up the welding. Anything else we got to do here, hook up the electronics, get the thing working, and then I'm going to stop this video and post this one, and then I'll bring you back on the last video. We'll take it apart, clean it, and powder coat it, kind of like we did the chair, because these are getting long, these videos, and I haven't posted nothing in a couple weeks, guys. I got to get another video out, so bear with me, please. I'm trying. It's a lot of work. It really is. It's a lot of work, all this is. So, all right. Thanks for watching, guys, and being patient with me on these videos, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys, here's what I'm thinking. I came up with this. It's going to be one plate on each side. It's 1/8 inch thick. This hole here is going to be for a 1/2 inch rod. I'm going to start my rods that come out of the side to hang the dies on. So they'll go every 4 inches, every 4 to 5 inches all the way up on both sides. But I got that one as a starter on both sides of the plate. So I got this set up. I hope I'm not wasting the steel. I think it's all pretty close to what I need here, and we're gonna get ready to cut it. So let me reset this. All right, guys, here we go. Fingers crossed, right? I think I'm cutting too fast, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna slow this down a little bit. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, the speed time told me on 10 gauge, 85. Oh, that's out. I looked at that wrong, but I think it was cut out. I think it was stuck to the slats, you guys. That's all right. Better safe than sorry. Actually, now I'm going too fast, I think. No, we're good. We're good. Yeah, we're good, guys. I panicked on the sound of it, and that was stuck on the slat. And these are all good. But I slowed it down by two speeds. I'm trying to tell you the best I can without trying to explain what it is that you would need to know. So I'm gonna pull this out and then take it over to the thing and see if it fits. Be right back. All right, guys, something I did make a boo-boo on. I didn't realize what side my cut started. My line, my arrow should have been on the outside of the line. It started on the inside. So I'm gonna have to put a little weld there and clean it up. Let's see how it fits. Fits like a glove. It does too, front to back, everything. Let me show you this side. Looks pretty cool. Try to get I try to just make something that was roundy and some sharp edges, kind of like the bead roller is there, and those little slots in it. That's just so the components can breathe in there once we enclose it. Because once we put the other side on and then make our, our outside thing, it's going to be enclosed. So and I ain't decided yet, but what I'm thinking about doing is making one of these sides removable and weld the other side on. So our top cover is going to be welded to the one that stays on, that's welded on. And this one will just go on, and we'll probably make some little tabs where we can bolt it on in the front, across the bottom, and maybe we'll put some in here somewhere. I don't know. We'll figure all that out. If I even decide that, I may just decide to weld it on and close the top. But I figured if we made it to where the one side comes off, easier access to the components inside instead of trying to fish it in there, and you know what I mean? It's kind of like opening a panel, like where you got plenty of room to work on it in there. I don't want to be trying to stuff things, and I want to make it nice and neat when we mount that stuff in there. So that's probably how we'll do it. So let me change the mistake I made with that cut right there and cut the other one. I'm gonna move this metal back and cut the other one, and I'll bring you back shortly. Okay, definitely fix this side. Let me show you. Well, I don't know where I'm at. Right here. You can see, so the cut started out here instead of the inside. So we'll probably, like I said, we'll throw a tack there and there and clean that up. But they fit nice. They look good. And hang on, let me go grab that, the piece. Okay, so that's all the way in. The weld's stopping it here, but that side's flush. Yeah, so if we was flush, that weld was cleaned up, we'd be good. But what I'll probably do is space them both out ever so lightly. But that's going to be cool. See how that's going to be hidden in there? And then we'll make our cover. You'll never know it. So that's all inside. We're not going to have big boxes, big power panels hanging out here. So we'll drill a hole and put a little grommet where our cord will come out. It'll look like it's a bought and made unit. Yeah, that'll be cool. And so like I said here, our first, it'll come up at an angle. We'll go up 5 inches, probably the bottom of that. Put another one, another 5 or 4, boom, boom. And then the same on the other side. And that's some of them you can double up. So most of them you can double up, because I'm going to come out about a good 4 or 5 inch piece. So like that, you know what I mean? So they'll fit. I mean, if we grab these, look at these. So if we were to go double up on that, they ain't even 4 inches or 5. You know what I mean? So most of them we'll be able to double up. But if I go 5 inches, we'll have plenty of room to put even a bigger roller. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even at 4, that's 8. That's 8 of them times 2 is 16 dies. Or, you know what I mean? 16 pieces in total, but 8 different dies. And any more you can just put up in a cabinet. Your main ones you can keep on here. I mean, I don't want to make it too cluttered up with dies everywhere. So that's why I just want to come up a few on each side, put the main ones that I use on each side, and that's plenty, I think. Even 4 per side would be plenty probably. So That thing's looking pretty cool, guys. It's looking real cool. And that's also gonna, you know, strengthen that up down here once we get it all solid. You know, it'll strengthen this from left to right, because I'll weld that to the center post and to the bottom. And so there's our gusset for that. And then, like I said, this side will make it the bolt on. So let me figure out what I'm gonna make for that stuff, and I'll bring you guys back once I get that far. You know, I'll probably go, I know I got some, well, even if we went this stuff here, that's thin enough to work with. You know, especially if we're going to make little bends in the press to get it to fit, and then we'll weld it on nice. A little more work, but I think we can get it. I'm going to clean those welds up, actually on both sides, just so I can fit these in there decent, just to know how much I do have to space it to have that thing comfortable in there. I don't want it rattling, and I don't want it smashed in there. So we may have to space it just a touch, but we can do all that with the mounting of this side and make that one flat on the back side. So we'll be good. All right, bring it back here in a few. All right, guys, there it is. I cut those pieces out of the some of that metal up there. I just measured and cut out two 2-inch strips, and it's 1/8 inch. And some of you ain't gonna believe me, but believe it or not, I bent those in my little slip roller thing. I'll show you the one I'm talking about. The one from Harbor Freight. The one everybody says doesn't roll enough thick stuff for them. Well, that's 1/8 inch. I don't know how you guys was rolling it, but mine rolled it fine. I mean, I had to work it a little bit, but I'm talking about this thing right here. That little Harbor, sorry the lights are off, guys, I'm getting ready to lock up, but that thing, that's the thing I'm talking about. Oh, here, let's do this. I don't know how to cut the light on. Anyways, that's the one. It did a hell of a job. It really did. I started doing the thing in the brake, and you know, where I put the lines in it, did it like I did the vise and this stuff up here, but this curve, the curve in that thing had me all goofed up. So the only thing I used it for was these. That one and that one to make the sharp bends in it. That one right there. Other than that, I rolled the rest in that thing. And then I kind of just formed it, you know what I mean? I took it at one point and put it over the ledge and hit it with the hammer to form over it. And that's it, man. There it is. Heck of a job, man. That thing does great. I don't know why some people bitch so much about that thing. It always does me right. I think it's paid for itself 3 or 4 times. But anyhow, there's what it looks like. That's our compartment. I think it turned out pretty sweet. Now I tacked it to this side over here, so it's tacked to this one, and that side comes off. We'll have to weld it fully to the stand. You know, this whole side with those, you know, how it is. Then this side, we're going to figure out a way to make it removable. We'll figure that out. I haven't thought about that one yet, but we'll figure it out. Because our pin for the first set of rollers that we have down here, it's got to get welded on and be able to come off with that panel. The other one over there I can weld, or up to it, so. But if I stick it in that hole and weld around it, it shouldn't weld to the thing anyways. So we'll be all right on that. But I think it's looking pretty sweet, guys. I really do. That thing is going to be pretty wild. Looking good. But man, that took me quite some time. If I'd have did that and filmed all that, you know, recorded all that, this video is already, I just started editing it, and it's going to be long. And like I said, I'm going to have to probably end it after this stuff is built. Our components are in for the wiring stuff. And so the last video will probably just be JB weld, smooth things out, clean everything up nice, and do some powder coating and put it all together at the end of it. But cool, man. I'll bring you guys back tomorrow once I get out here and get going on this again. I got some other work to do first, but after I get that stuff done, we'll get back on it. Appreciate you guys. All right, guys, a little change in plans here. So that switch that I was going to flush mount into the bead roller, it didn't work. And it's a good thing I bench tested everything first, meaning I hooked all this up first and it didn't work. So we're going to use this one. It's all hooked up and everything works great. I'll show you guys here in a few. And I ended up having to make 3D printing a little box for it and a cover. all these little components. There's a what percentage you're at on the how slow, how fast you want it here, and there's a forward reverse switch. And I'm also adding in, let me take you back over here and show you the other stuff now. Okay, here's our top covers finished. It just finished. Took about like an hour and 30 minutes. I got it on the video there. The box, I started, it was a 10-hour print because I printed it on my other printer, and it took like I said, 10 hours to print, and I did it on my other printer, which is a little bit slower than this one. And I came in this morning thinking it was going to be finished, and it was paused. I wrote down the layer count. It was paused at a almost finished, and for some reason it paused it. What I think happened was, let me take you over here. All right, here's the box. It says there's an hour and 50 minutes left, but it was paused about a little past halfway, right about here. And the head was over here, and it said change your filament. So I think what happened was, when I printed those badges for the vise, I had a color change in them from black to white, and what you set it up in the program, and it'll pause to let you change the filament. I think I used that. So I didn't pay attention to that, and it stopped on us. Okay, so now I'm also going to add, let me set this up in the tripod. See, I'm sitting on my sweet chair we built. Okay, I'm going to add a switch on the power supply, because when you plug it in the outlet, it's automatically on. The only thing I have control over is cutting the forward and reverse, and all that stuff. Let's see. So I just need to clean that out just a little bit. So that's going to be in here. It goes in. That's a nice fit, actually. Okay, so this will be our turn on. I'm gonna have to clean that up a little bit. All right, so that'll be our switch. This switch is gonna go here. They all might need cleaned up, maybe. They're super tight. Yeah, they need cleaned up a little bit. Anyways, that'll go there. We'll clean them up. It's got a little rubber thing to it, a little front cover on it. Where'd it go? Oh, front cover. So that'll go there. This is the forward reverse. This is our speed rheostat thing, and that's where we're going to put our little gauge in for the percentage. And on the back side, if you look in there, there's a little lip where it'll stop, so it can't come forward, and then I'll hot glue that in or something, and then that's our cover to the box. And where I'm going to put that at, let me take you over here and show you. Okay, I plan on putting it right here in this area here, that box. Okay, I know originally it would have been nice to just have that thing flush mounted there. It would have been sweet, but it wouldn't handle it. It would work and then start to slow down. So something weird's going on with it, but I didn't want the problems. This thing works great. I'm gonna plug it in and let you guys see how it works. So what we'll do is we'll mount our box. All that stuff will go in it. The wire will go through here, and when we take this off, we'll drill a hole in the bottom of it, a nice one, like because I got to go through with a couple wires, maybe 3/4 of an inch hole, and then we'll drill another 3/4 of an inch hole through this and through the, well, that's open, so just through this. And down at the bottom, when we take our panel off, I'm going to put another hole probably in the side of this where we can fish our wire out down there, and that's where our main power supply is going to go, behind there, like we said. And it's got a fan and everything in it, so that's going to be great, for the venting of it. And then we'll come out somewhere, maybe in the back, with another grommet in our cord, which will go to plug in, and another one that comes out for our foot pedal. So we'll have two grommets coming out. So all we'll have essentially is the foot pedal, the cord to the wall, and then our box here with the controls on it. And then I'll probably put another hole somewhere here with the grommet. I got these grommets, and that wire will go from here to our motor. So everything will be clean, hidden, you know what I mean? Nothing hanging out. And we'll go through all that. I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on and what happened with that little switch, and it didn't work. So I'll bring you guys back when that box is done, and then we'll kind of go over all that stuff real quick. I'll show you how it works, and then I'm going to end this video here. I've been editing for, it's long, it's over an hour, but anyways, there's quite a bit to watch in there. There's things that we're making, there's just a lot of things. So I'm going to post that one, and then I'm already started recording, which is going to be hopefully the last one, which is going to be drilling the holes, doing the wiring, blah, 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 getting it all set and ready. And then we'll do our JB weld, sand that stuff down, prep everything, powder coat it, put it together. So I made it sound like a 2-minute thing, but it's going to take some time. All that stuff takes a lot of time, guys. It really does. So yeah, give me a few. I'm waiting on that box, well, about an hour or whatever, to you guys in a second here. But be back here when that's done. All right, guys, let me plug this in. I want to show you how this works real quick. Okay, as I said before, this is our box that's finished. I'll show you where it goes here in a minute. Here's our, this ain't hooked up yet, or this light, but that's going to be our on-off switch to the main power supply. Because right now you plug it in, it just works. So anyways, what you do is you cut this on and you set what you want it at. It goes pretty low. Let's just set it at like 30, and we'll put it in forward, and then you just push the pedal. Let's go to reverse. Well, that's forward. That's reverse. Let's crank it up a little bit. And you can go 100% all the way down. That's pretty low. I mean, that thing's barely spinning. So really I think 20 is the lowest where, yeah, for it to kick back on. Let's try that. 20, that's 16, 18. Yeah, 20, it has to be on at least 20 to kick it on. The 20 is the lowest. Now on that Mad Ginger I was telling you guys about on his, he said whenever he went from forward to reverse, he had a delay. Mine goes right away. I don't know why his was doing that. Maybe he's got a different unit, but I mean, I can flip that and go right away. He said there was a little delay in his. I didn't have it, so. But anyway, there's what it is. And then, like I said, that cuts this is all off now, even though this is running. But I don't like that running like that, because then, you know, the main power basically is still on. So that's where we're gonna come in with this. That'll control that. That'll shut everything off. You know, no matter what, you won't be able to even turn this one on. So, all right, I'm gonna show you where this box goes real quick. Hang on a second. Okay, so the idea is, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, our hole that's inside there, that's where our wire is gonna come through. I think I'm gonna put it right here somewhere, like right in that area, maybe somewhere in there. I was thinking about doing it here before I made these little bevels, but I got to thinking about it. I'm gonna have my dies there, so this will be okay. This won't be in the way. So we'll go there with it. That'll be our main panel. So that's gonna work out good. The only thing I didn't think about when I did this, the holes go all the way through, the lid and all. I'm gonna get some long screws and tap 4 holes here. I'm gonna get 4 long machine screws. But the problem is, I'm gonna have to run my wire through there, put the screws in first without the lid, wire everything up. You guys are gonna see it on camera. Wire everything up, then take a couple screws back out and put a final screw together. You know what I mean? I should have made it like with some, where I can mount this not permanent, but you know, so I ain't gotta keep doing what I just said. Then put our lid on last. But we'll get it, no big deal. So anyways, guys, hang on one second. All right, guys, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. It's pretty long, so we'll get it out. And then, like I said, I've already got footage and stuff started on the remainder. I gotta get a video out. So let me get all that done with the editing and all that. I'll get this thing out, and then I'll see you guys here real soon on the next one. Thanks again, guys, for hanging in there. Please try to do what you can to give me some comments and some likes or whatever you want to do there. That really keeps the algorithm going on these videos. If not, they won't go nowhere. I mean, so if people are just viewing it and then whatever, that's what it is. But it really does help when you guys say something, give the thumbs up, you know, anything like that would help. I really appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Thanks again, guys.